Hope you all are ready, huh?
Always.
Are you good to go, Jules?
Yeah, I don't care.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just vibing to music.
Hmm. Welcome to the IGL Podcast Redux. Okay, we used to do this back in the day. Well, I don't know how long ago it was now, but I don't know. It was kind of all over the place. But I've streamlined it in maybe a little bit, trying to make it a bit shorter. But we will see how it goes. Julesy, say what's up. Cookie, say what's up.
Sup?
Oh my gosh, man. Make a whole bit about trying to do this better. And then the first thing I say to Jules, just nothing.
He's probably gone to do some of these.
I asked him, are you ready? And he said, yeah, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, you did. That's true. That's true.
Anyway, there's been some stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. Actually, I'm not going to lie, it has been pretty dry, but there's been interesting stuff going on, I guess, in our worlds. I feel like mostly it has been pretty weak news. But I think we'll get straight into the topic of the Warzone player counts. So Warzone player counts have been super down right now. The Steam version of Call of Duty Warzone 2 has been steadily losing players, and I'm assuming that means like the Modern Warfare 2 as well as Warzone 2. But you know, Warzone 2 being a free-to-play game, you'd think there'd be more people on it. I have a quote here from an article. It says, in November, Call of Duty Warzone 2 averaged 223,000 players on Steam at any given time, but that dropped by 20% in December. The Call of Duty Warzone 2 player counts has dropped another 16% in the last 30 days. What do you think about that, Cookie? Do you think the gaming trend? Do you think this is a general trend with Call of Duty, or do you think that this, you know, is just like a stagnating game for the time being?
Hard to say. I know. I do watch quite a few of the Warzone streamers, and I do know a few of them don't like a lot of the aspects of it in comparison to the old Warzone. Predominantly the looting system, which is a shame because it's very similar to what the Blackout looting system was, just definitely not as refined is probably the best way to put it. But I know we've dabbled a little bit into it.
It's weird for us too. It's weird, which is weird for us, you know.
Yeah, and I will say from what we've played of it, the first couple of games are enjoyable, and then it gets repetitive and boring. And
like quickly, yeah.
Yeah, and I did find the first Warzone wasn't really like that. I know when the first Warzone dropped, I put a lot of hours into it. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself. But there's something about this one that it just doesn't have the replay value, in my personal opinion, as what a lot of the other ones doesn't. And there is some things wrong with it as well.
Yeah. Do you think this is a maybe more of a trend with battle royales in the whole?
I think it's battle royales definitely past their prime. There's not a lot more they can do with it.
Like what can you do?
Warzone 2. Yeah, it's basically identical to Warzone 1. The only real difference is it's a different engine, A, and B, it's a different map. Like, woo, you know? There's nothing different about it. It's gone from H1Z1 to start with into PUBG, into Fortnite, into Apex, and then into COD.
It can only evolve
Obviously,
so much.
Yeah, obviously there is other ones as well out there, but they're all so similar. Like I know there was one on Steam a few years back called Islands of Nine, which died really, really quickly, which was a little bit unfortunate, but it was very different to a lot of them, where it was very sci-fi.
Yeah.
And then you've had other ones that have gone offline recently as well. Like you look at Hyperscape with Ubisoft, the servers got taken for it and down for it, and that was a shame because I quite enjoyed that a little bit as well. I mean, Fortnite's still going strong, but that appeals to a very different audience than what Warzone does.
I think in Fortnite's case, it's gone beyond Battle Royale at this point. That's why I don't think it's ever going to die. I think it'll be going forever, honestly. Like,
yeah, it's very much for the casual. Obviously, you've still very much got the competitive side of it. Now that they've implemented the no build modes and that, like
creative's huge, man. Creative's huge.
Yeah, that definitely appeals to, like, it's almost become like a battle royale GTA sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you've got can do all the random shit. But then in saying that, the other one that's still quite active at the moment is Apex.
Yep.
But that really goes to the really competitive hardcore players.
And I think it's been declining as well.
Kind of that, like, in between.
Yeah. Definitely more of a stream-friendly kind of game, right? Warzone.
Yeah, the whole genre is very stream-friendly because you're not... like, take Valorant, for instance. You're focused. Unless you're dead, you're focused on everything you do on the screen. And it's very hard to look at your chat or anything like that while you're alive.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They seem to have done everything at this point for Battle Royale. Fighting game Battle Royale. Like, even, like, competitors, like, what was that, like, kid versions of Battle Royale,
yeah.
Fuck, I can't think right now. They had Spellbreak, that was what, like, Magic Battle Royale? There was Realm Royale, I think Realm Royale, that's what I was looking for.
Realm Royale was fun.
It was fun, it was fun for a while there, yeah.
It died, and then it's been revamped recently.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think Warzone 2 landed a little flat. I'm gonna actually...
That entire game landed flat.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
That's a biased opinion.
Speak on it.
It's the best-selling COD. Did more than MW.
Yeah, but sales for actual gameplay.
Did you not? Were you not here for the start of this conversation?
No, I heard the numbers that dropped.
Yeah, you're the one that put me onto this nation, actually.
But the other thing is, sales happened before actual gameplay. Like, we had the beta, yeah, but like, very small taste. Everybody expected better maps to come out when it was released.
Where's library? Where's that library map, bro?
Yeah, that was probably the best map in the beta, and it's not being released because of fucking copyright stuff. And then there was talk about 2 other maps going down due to infringements. I butchered that word, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I love stuff in my fridge, Cookie. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
In fridge.
But why do you have this faith in Modern Warfare 2, Julian?
I don't have faith in it. I don't think it flopped as a battle royale. I mean, now, and it's really strange because, like you said, new engine, new map. They've, changed it up enough that it is slightly refreshing, and it still just has lost its play counts.
Do you think? But don't you think that's a general trend? Don't you think that this is like?
Oh yeah, no, battle royales are dying, and they're not as popping as they used to be.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I don't know how Fortnite is still successful, but obviously,
yeah. As we talked about though,
more than anything.
Yeah, it's become like
it's like WoW.
You look at creative though.
A huge amount of like concurrent players plus new players, like people jumping on.
In my opinion,
yeah, I'm sure that some people.
So I play with my nephew, right? And that's only a small portion of the games, but like we go from builds, no builds, creative. Like, and we'll be playing like several different modes in creative, back to Battle Royale again, and it's a constant loop keeping, well, at least kids, right, locked into Fortnite constantly. Because when they get bored of trying to win a Battle Royale, they just go play something like a Death Run or some Among Us clone, or like it's like if you built upon, it was like if Warzone 1 also had like Roblox style, like where you could just make anything you want. And that's why Fortnite's so successful. Plus, constantly pumping in, of famous IPs, Naruto, But Dragon Ball, they just had the what's that popular
Not
one?
even just
My
IPs
Hero.
as well, just
That
artists.
fake
Yeah.
Pokemon trailer.
Like your Marshmallow, Ariana Grande. Like
Yep.
you look at all the ones that they've been
Yeah.
like just done
Travis
collaborations
Scott.
with.
Yeah,
It's,
it's
it's
huge.
so strange. A lot of the licenses and IPs that they've got onto the game.
Yep.
Like I can't see how you could affiliate Travis Scott with kids and
Yeah,
kid marketing, but they did it, and
Well, that's I think
It was
where
the
it's got the
first one,
big
too.
advantage over Fortnite was like the cosmetics. Oh, sorry, Fortnite over COD. The cosmetics are just a different breed.
oh yeah, no. When you do
Like the cosmetics
cartoonish
on COD
or animated
are
style, you
bang
have so much more
average.
freedom.
Yeah, that is true. Like they're very limited what they would do in COD.
It has to be realistic, and then they're just like, no.
Although in saying
in
that,
the
they did
last
that
season of Vanguard, they just
Krampus
fucking
last
give up.
holidays.
Krampus, bro. Don't compare
But,
Krampus
like,
to
some of
anything
the
Fortnite
skins
are doing.
came
Oh, the
out as
Krampus one
well.
was sick. The Vanguard
Yeah.
Krampus was cool.
Nah, I did not like Krampus, man. I'm not with you on that one, bro. Sorry. Krampus was stupid as hell.
But then they do have there was an anime skin in Modern Warfare, wasn't it?
Yeah, right at the end they added that like anime bundle where you could do like the little dance animation with your gun. I
Yeah,
believe so, yeah.
I mean, they did have Attack on Titan as well,
that's true.
and they
I
did
got
have
so sick of
Snoop
seeing
Dogg.
that fucking Titan.
there
eat
was
Oh.
the furry. You know that furry wolf that they stole from some online.
They didn't
artist?
release that. They never released it.
Yeah,
because
they
it
never
got
released it.
pulled.
Yeah,
Oh, then King Kong and Godzilla. So yeah, they went whack. They just went off the rails.
Yeah,
after a
just
while,
threw shit at
but
a wall, see what
I
stuck.
think they start with, oh, we're just gonna try and do it as realistic, and then they're like, oh, you want to be a neon cat? Yeah, have fun.
So to wrap Call of Duty talk up, do you think, seeing as this is going to be a 2-year title and we got a player base decreasing already, do you think it's going to be able to survive without a new release?
Bring rank out. I mean, that's biased for me. I just want to play some fucking competitive.
Yeah, bring
well,
rank
there is
out,
talk
yeah.
that's coming out next season.
Yeah,
I don't know when next season.
oh yeah, another thing though, right? The season just got pushed back a month. Like literally
What did
today, I literally sat down to take a shit when I got home, and I watched a video about how they're pushing back this season, like season 2, for a month.
Great.
They're fucking up the momentum as well.
100%. How many maps have they had come out? 2?
I think
And
so.
they're all repeats, and they're not
Where
maps
the
you can
fuck-
really play
oh, man.
competitively.
Mhm.
Like shipment and like.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I'd love a 4v4 shoot house
Yeah.
hard point.
yeah.
Like that would be fun as fuck to play in ranked.
hmm
But it's just not viable in competitive. For like proper competitive anyway. Which is what they base the ranked off. Popular.
Really
Such a
popular.
game mode.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we did it in Cold War and it didn't really pop off. It's like, yeah, because it's garbage in Cold War.
It didn't suit that style of engine.
No, it just didn't. It's like, oh, I guess we
Whereas
don't need to
this
try.
new engine being like that old school kind of vibe and feel to it, gunfight would really suit that.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, Champion Hill didn't pop off either. It's like, yeah, it was garbage.
That's what I
Yeah,
feel like
that-
happened
that-
though.
I
There's
wanted
no
to watch that didn't
replayability.
pop off.
Yeah, that's what I feel like happened. They like looked at the success of Champion Hill instead of going back to what Gunfight was, bro. Like I feel like everyone was talking about Gunfight tournaments, like everyone.
Oh, well, just chuck it in
Yeah.
a gulag.
Yeah.
So that you have to deal with some random cunt letting you down. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, dick.
That's
Have
what
you
pissed me off even
seen-
more.
Have you seen so many people now just like partying up with the other one just to kill the warden now to get
Yeah.
out of gulag?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's good.
I
It's
knew it
good.
happened in that
They have
game.
good features, man. But it's just like, why is that in? Why do Warzone players get what we want?
Yeah, they have great ideas. It's just very poor execution with a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff.
And that's honestly why I don't think that this COD is going to be able to like pull through. Obviously, it's going to be a new COD come out, right? I just think it's going to be a really like this will be like by the end of Modern Warfare 2, unless they do some crazy shit, it'll have probably the least amount of players it's ever had.
I would probably agree with that. I think the big thing for me will come down to the next title.
Yeah,
Because I believe it's back to is it Treyarch next one?
yeah, And,
So it will. I think it will go on that because Infinity Ward's fucked up with this one, and Vanguard wasn't great. So I think it will come down to Treyarch, and if all three have released shit games consecutively, like all the studios have released shit games consecutively, people are just gonna be like, well, no, what's the fucking point? No matter which studio is releasing it, it's not going to be any good.
Yeah.
Are you talking about now or after Treyarch's game?
After Treyarch's.
Because Cold War was decent.
Cold War was decent. It's probably the funnest ranked I've had for COD.
No, public was trash and the bugs were
Yeah.
disgusting.
The issue with pubs is just they have like one or two guns that are absolutely fucking broken.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then it just becomes unfun unless you use them.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this is like the Modern Warfare 3 of its time, and like the next game that Treyarch releases will be like a Black Ops 2 to like fully, like almost transcend the series. Like I always feel like Call of Duty could reinvent the wheel, but it feels like the last couple games of real stagnation.
I don't think they care about reinventing the wheel. They're getting money from what they're doing.
Yeah, I know, but they try to. The thing is, I feel like they think they're reinventing the wheel, but what they're doing is fucking. They've turned a circle wheel square, and it just doesn't work.
COD Next, was that the big event?
Yeah, remember the COD 2.0 reveal?
Yeah, and the way the dude was talking about all these different things, like the way the dude was talking about the ledge hop, blew my fucking mind. How excited he was over this little tiny ledge hold.
Yeah,
and it's like there's so much other shit that needs fixing in this game. The same as like the gunsmith and then the HUD, the UI. Sorry, like this guy that was talking about all these new features. Just he was absolutely like fucking a kid in a candy shop talking about him. But it's like, okay, cool. You've added more things that are posing more problems. Like the UI is dog shit. Let's be honest.
Yep.
It's hella complicated. I know some people are like, oh, it's not that bad anymore now that you've gotten used to it. And they're not wrong, but it's like
still really
it's still
bad.
not better than what it was. It's not
still really bad. Yeah, it's a really really bad UI. I don't. Anyone that's defending it is fucking weird, bro.
And like, okay, the new weaponsmith, I don't mind. Like, I like the fact that the way that it is you've got to basically use every gun to unlock the guns. I don't mind that.
Good idea.
But there's just like, have you seen the attachments? I think I read somewhere there was like over 100 attachments in the game.
On one gun, or
yeah, so on like specific guns, I think it was like the Lockman or something, because there's like 4 different variants of it.
Yeah.
All up, there's like 100 attachments.
That's a lot of
and
attachments.
It's like that seems absolutely pointless. Like there's going to be certain attachments that I can guarantee you the usage percentage would be like 0.0001% because they're fucking useless, or they do the same as something else, just worse.
Yep.
It's like it's all just absolutely pointless shit generally, that it's like that time and effort you've put into doing this, you could have put it into fixing it and actually making a really, really good game.
Yeah, or make Gunfight. Or just make Gunfight. So
yeah, like that's 90% done. Just copy and paste it.
Mate,
and then fix it up.
They spent how long on these maps, right? How long on these like 8 game modes? They couldn't like. I feel like they wasted the 3 years they had to make this game.
Well, it feels like they wanted to just do party tricks instead with some of the stuff.
Yeah, and like they're like, oh, we got a ledge hang, cool man, but can we get a map that isn't cut off from a Warzone map, please?
Yeah. Yeah,
like, please.
Like, okay, put the map into Warzone, but at least have it as standalone where it's not part of the Warzone map.
Anyway, alright, enough Call of Duty talk, man. We can do this. Oh, yeah, jump in.
Just, I want to get your take. Why do you think they've delayed it a month? Do you think they're revisiting their strategy?
No, I don't think it's ready. I just don't think whatever they're gonna do is ready.
How much? Come on, man. They're going like the strategy would have been like, oh, we'll release 3 maps, and there you go, new season.
Mate.
Yeah, there's bound to be something in the new season that isn't ready yet, whether it's one of the maps that's been released, whether it's the ranked system, or there's something in the new season that's just not ready yet, and that's why they've
Come
delayed it.
on, maps are done. They're in Warzone already. You got highlights, terminal. Just throw them fucking in there.
Oh mate, the fact that
The maps are
if they charge
done.
us for those, man, if they charge us for those for year 2, man, this game is done. This game is done.
Oh no, they won't be able to if they don't have the concurrent player base.
They charge for a new COD every year, man. They're expecting
Yeah,
money at the end of this
they'll
year.
charge no matter what, lad.
Yeah, but what's the point of people buying it? Just for what? It wouldn't be any maps that are in Warzone right now. It would be something, maybe revisited old maps from, I don't know, stuff that's not in the game already. But I can't imagine, like, what, Hackney Yard? Oh, fuck yeah, man. Let's play for a live service at Hackney Yard.
That's the thing, though, Jules. They spent 3 years that made 10 maps, 4 of them based off of real locations. The other 6, maybe like 4. The other, like 4 of the other ones, right? Warzone maps, or a part of Warzone maps. That's they spent all that time making practically a Warzone map, and then took screenshots of places in real life and made them maps. They need another month to make maps. They need another month.
Making a cake and then cutting out cupcakes and saying you've made cupcakes.
Yeah,
It can't take too long. Like, it can't take that long. Especially like, oh, here's shipment. We just it's a new skin. You just downloaded the fucking mod. It's a new texture mod.
I genuinely think that's
can't take
it wouldn't have been that hard to make it. At least shipment is a different layout than last year's. Sorry, not last year's.
It's a 3x3 grid.
I mean,
there's not a huge difference.
I mean, actually, it's the same layout as last year's shipment. It's not the same as Modern Warfare's shipment, though. So
I'll see a little
improvements,
bit bigger,
improvements, right, guys? Improvements. We're improving gameplay. All right. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this. Tell me to shut the fuck up if you don't. But Wizards of the Coast, right? I thought this was pretty big news. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but I think they're a subsidiary of Hasbro. They've made some changes to their open license agreement, and I don't. Yeah. Actually, I didn't know that either, right?
I haven't heard that name for ages.
Right. This is why, because Hasbro is struggling so much. They've made these changes, but in their new open game license. So I'm actually really into this story. They have changed the open game license, and so the reason D&D apparently is so popular is because of all these third-party services, like taking D&D and turning it from what it is, right, into something way better. I haven't... Yeah, okay, I'm not up to date with that, right? But I've been really interested in this story.
D&D, you basically... Best way to explain it is, D&D, you've got books that you go off.
Yeah.
And a new book comes out every now and then. But there is... kind of like I guess the best way to say it's like spin-offs. So they've built they've got these worlds in D&D, but then there's spin-offs that use all the same type of stuff but in different worlds. But then also for D&D, you've got a creative license where if you're a dungeon master or a game master, whatever you want to call it, people call it different things. Yep. You can be like, cool, I'm going to make my own world.
Yep.
Base it off Dungeons and Dragons. The game Dungeons and Dragons, you can play it the way it's all set up and play it all that way, but you're playing it in my world instead.
Okay. So it has established rules, but but new worlds or like new ideas because of these people, dungeon masters and whatnot.
Yeah. So there is spin-offs where you can buy, like there's certain books and spin-offs that you can actually buy, and then other people have done them into books. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of Critical Role.
Yes. This is going to be a key to the story. But explain Critical Role for us.
So Critical Role is a bunch of voice actors. A lot of them are very, very well known. For instance, the one that is the game master of it is Matt Mercer, who a lot of people would know his voice from Overwatch. He voices McCree, or formerly McCree. And new name, I can't remember off the top of my head. What's Cassidy? That's one. Thank you.
Wait, so he voices Cassidy now?
He voices Cassidy. He's voiced Cassidy since the get-go.
Wait, so... Oh, okay, no, because the character was based off the bad guy. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so, and these guys that play it, they're very, very well known throughout the English dubbed anime, video games, all that sort of stuff. There's a group of six, plus Matt Mercer, who is the game master. Now, Matt Mercer created his own world where they use the rules of D&D and have basically go down their own story that he's created, and they basically play it out as if you're playing. I guess the best way to describe it is as if you're playing a game and you're the main character.
Okay. Interesting.
And they're on, I believe they're on their second season. They might have finished it and started the third, but they stream it on Twitch. And you can go in, watch it, and it's really, really interesting. They go out to all the conventions. Some of the big conventions. I know San Diego Comic-Con, which is one of the biggest ones in America. They did one of their sessions of Critical Role, and they even live streamed it from a stage at Comic-Con.
Okay. That's huge. These guys are big, and D&D...
Absolutely huge. They average about 5K viewers.
So how much would you say that D&D owes these people for making it popular? Would you say that, like, the reason D&D is popular, because from what I've heard, right, what I've read online is some of the reasons that D&D is still played today is because of people like Matt Mercer and his Critical Role. Like, they've practically reinvented D&D.
Mainstreamed it.
Yeah.
In the most recently. Like,
okay.
They're the most recent thing of it that's been mainstreamed. There is, I know, as well as there's a big YouTube group. I can't remember their name off the top of my head. That they do the same, but they do it a little bit differently, where they use the same rules of D&D, but then they might put like a modern take on it. Like, I know one of the ones they did there, they had, it was like a monster high school.
Okay.
That's kind of where you're talking about the Hasbro stuff. That's kind of how D&D is. D&D is just basically a set of rules for a game, and you do the story for it.
Okay.
You're the storyteller, story writer for this base game that has no story or anything behind it.
Okay. All right. So, in this open game license, it was leaked, right? It outlined restrictions on third-party publishers, which included a 25% royalty payout for revenues over $750,000. Which, like, to me, when I first heard this, I was like, that doesn't sound so bad. You know, these guys are making, $750,000 off of these guys' property, right? You know, okay. And apparently, there's a copyright clause in there as well. So, apparently, if Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast feel like, Critical Role is infringing on their copyright, right, they can just shut it down. And that's a part of that new open game license that is leaked. I don't know if it's it's right now, but there's been a lot of backlash for this.
Definitely sounds controversial.
And definitely a lot of people are scared about their hard work going out the window because of what Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are doing. And apparently, their Hasbro has been. This is the worst Hasbro's done in years. Apparently, it's funny that you said you haven't heard of Hasbro in a long time, because they're really concerned about their money right now. So they've been jacking the prices up.
It was just like a board game.
Yeah, right. Because apparently Wizards of the Coast just put out an anniversary Magic of the Gathering pack. And this pack is, I think it's 4 boosters for $300 because it's like old cards reprinted. A bunch you aren't even game legal. You can't even use them in game. So
it'd be like Pokemon doing a first gen stuff, like a reprinted first gen.
I genuinely think Pokemon cards are overpriced, right? But what Wizards of the Coast are doing is pretty disgusting.
That's a lot of money. Unless they have a certain limit on how many packs that they're selling, so they're rare. Even then, that's still a hell of a lot. Because 4 booster packs, what, about 8 cards in a booster pack?
Yeah, I believe so. Yep.
8, 9, 10 cards,
something like that. Yeah,
not a lot. So
I don't know about.
There's 40 cards.
I don't know about Magic packs, but yeah.
That's Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know what they do for Magic packs, but you can get literally shit all out of your $300 box of packs, right?
You could get 38 cards that you can't even use, and then have 2 cards that you can use.
None of them are even worth any money as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting, and I like to highlight companies when they're being scummy as hell. Hopefully, there's some more information comes out about this soon.
The second time that they've done it.
This is the second time they've done it.
In 2008, with the release of Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, came a more restrictive licensing agreement called the Game System License. This was met with
Yeah.
criticism.
Okay.
They rolled it
Everything.
back with
A
the
lot
5th
of the
edition
D&D
back to
stuff nowadays
OGL.
is based off 4D, 4E.
Oh, 50% though. Cut of sales.
Jesus.
So wait, they've already tried to cut
to-
into their sales, Jules.
Did that go ahead?
That was with the D&D 5th edition. So they went to GSL, which is is what they're doing now, and then they went back with OGL, or be it with a 50% cut of sales taken by Wizards of Coast, so anybody who used it. So look, it's not the first time. They seem to be backpedaling already.
Yep.
They must be struggling.
They really are. No, Hasbro is really struggling, bro.
They're like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
very
how can we get a
desperate.
bit of money from our pre-existing licenses and properties? So doesn't bode well for the company as a whole. And the backlash seems to be causing the right movement.
Well, it seems we've talked about two scummy companies already, unless you had something else to say, Cookie.
Yeah. So another company recently did something similar to this. I believe it was 2021. I don't know too much of the actual nitty gritty details, but Riot Games, developer of League of Legends, opened up their engine, which Valorant, League of Legends, Blade of the Rude King, all that is played on, and they allowed game developers, whether they were indie, whether they were starting out, you could get a license for their engine, and you could also build something that was to do with the League of Legends universe, and a lot of games have come from that. Off the top of my head, I know there's a fighting game that's almost being released. It might even be released by now. That was made from game developers that weren't part of Riot. And as I said, I don't know the nitty gritty details, but I quite like the idea that they were able to open up their engine and universe as well. Because League of Legends, if anybody does know, has very, very vast lore. Like the lore to it is, I'd argue, a lot more in depth than Overwatch, and Overwatch is quite in depth.
I've been meaning to watch Arcane. I have been meaning.
Yeah, I started it, but I haven't finished it. And they've opened it. There's a bunch of developers that aren't part of Riot as well that are in the midst of creating an MMO RPG in the Riot universe, which I personally think would be absolutely amazing if they do that right, because the stories and the lore that you'd be able to build in that universe would be phenomenal. And I just thought it was really, really cool how they've just opened up everything. Now, obviously, you mentioned about Hasbro with the percentage of revenue, which I'd argue any company that does something similar to this, I can understand why they want part of the revenue. 25% does seem a lot, and I don't like the clause too much about them being able to shut it down for copyright infringement. I would feel like they should have a talk to the company first and then try to get some middle ground.
Well, apparently I'm reading here, right? 30 days is all I have to give them.
30 days.
Yep.
You know how long it takes to change things? 30 days is not a lot of time to change stuff in a game.
No. They give
It could also be
You're up.
Hasbro's former CEO Brian Goldner died in 2021.
I did not know about that.
Then he was replaced by interim Rick Stoddart, and funny enough, of February 2022, he was replaced by a man called Chris Cox.
I don't know
what I was laughing about before.
Nice.
So it might just be like this is something he set up as soon as he got in there. Obviously, looking at what the company had done previously, and then just wanting to do that again.
Chris Cox, did you say?
Yeah.
So the fella from Meta.
Yeah, he's the Meta guy.
Chief Product Officer.
Oh no, there's multiple guys here. Oh no, that's a voice actor. Yeah, no, Chief. Yeah. CPO
Cox is
of
spelled
Facebook.
like Cox. It's not COX as well.
Oh, isn't it? Okay.
Oh,
No.
Wow. Change your name, bro.
He's got the
Change your
money.
name,
yeah, okay.
There's a forensic scientist in Sydney.
No.
Okay.
CEO.
Adult and
Even
forensic
looks
scientist.
like a dickhead. Holy fuck.
Wow.
Man.
Oh my god. I did read.
Public company boards held in the past years. None.
So, other changes include a section stating that the agreement may be terminated if bigoted content is published under license, and the stance of NFT and blockchain use of Dungeon and Dragon intellectual property. So it's not all bad. Obviously, they want to stop NFTs being created, but then if they come out next month and they go, "Oh, we have our own NFTs," it's like, oh man, who knows what the fuck's going on?
I typed in Reddit after his name, and I got the first post here. It says CEO of Wizards of the Coast publicly mocking game devs for voicing concerns about pay disparity at Wizards of the Coast.
Jesus.
Jeez. Jeez.
Probably not the best replacement. Obviously, it does happen. I mean, look at Apple after Steve Jobs died. The company has just been doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Because I've got no drive for the company. They just want the money.
their initial creator is just gone, and it's just not the same
But
spirit.
the exact same for Microsoft when Bill Gates cocks it.
He hasn't been the CEO of Microsoft since
I don't know about
that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but I
just
can
learned that
I can
recently.
guarantee you he still has.
Oh yeah, he'd be in the board. He'd have power.
He's still got power. Like, but if he dies and loses no power, nothing whatsoever in the company, and they're just kind of freeballing, it's not
But
probably
I
the
don't
right
know.
word.
I
but-
don't think he's that.
No, I like
dumb.
freeballing
Freeball
it.
would written a clause for his children, and he has a lot of children.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even put the children in the will, so
Yeah, but
Fuck
Fuck him. Fuck him.
maybe the ex-wife. Maybe she gets a bit.
You've heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck Bill Gates' kids. Okay.
let me steal
you're
that.
All right. I'm moving on. Okay.
Last thing about the
Okay.
Last thing about the right thing. So they've got policies for if you're wanting to use the Riot engine, and some of the policies I'm actually really interested in. Kind of want your guys' opinions on them. So under monetization, you must have a free tier of access for players, which may include advertising. So no matter what game comes out on the Riot engine, doesn't cost, has to be free.
Okay.
Your content must be transformative if you are charging players for it. Transformative means was value added to the original by creating new information, new aesthetics, new insights, and understandings. If so, then it was transformative. So that's basically aesthetic stuff, like skins and all that sort of stuff is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Acceptable ways to charge players are subscriptions, donations, or crowdfunding.
What about battle
Entry
passes?
fees for-
Doesn't mention battle
Yeah.
passes.
Yeah, or like WoW and Final Fantasy where you pay subscription. But the only difference is you wouldn't be paying anything for the game.
Okay. Yeah.
Entry fees for tournaments, currencies that cannot be exchanged back into fiat, so no cryptocurrency. Which is one of the very first things in core policies: no cryptocurrencies, no blockchain.
Okay.
And then your monetization cannot gouge players or be unfair. If you are unsure if your monetization platform is acceptable, contact us at the developer portal. Yada yada yada. There's a couple other things in here as well, which is very, very interesting on like what stuff they've said that you can do with this stuff. And a lot of it comes down to basically you can't fuck over the player.
I mean, that's a good rule.
And I mean, Riot has always been someone that's been like that, to be fair. Like I've played League of Legends since day dot and I've played Valorant a lot. Never really in any of the games have they per se fucked you over. Like there's never been pay to win or anything like that. It's always been, everything's been fair. Just the only thing you can really change is aesthetics, which I personally am all for.
Yeah, even like character skins in Valorant, that doesn't happen, right? There's no character skins.
It's just gun skins.
Because like then it's like there's no shit with like, oh, this is the rose skin. You have to use the fucking rose skin, right?
Yeah, because it blends in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to move on, Cookie. We spent a lot of time on this. I didn't actually expect to spend this much time on this, but I just wanted to mention that Overwatch fans. All right, Alright, I'm gonna do this. Overwatch. Alright, so Overwatch 2 is a good game. It's a decent
Overwatch
game.
1.5.
I think personally, I think shops and games are just getting out of hand. Right? Apparently Overwatch 2 fans feel my pain. Right? They've called for a boycott of Overwatch 2. They believe the shop is overpriced. How do you guys feel about stores in general? I hate it when a brand new IP comes out with like $30 skins in the store already, like, and it's a mid-ass fucking game.
It shouldn't cost no more than $10.
I think the best, the
$2.
A1 skins should cost $10. Like, I'm talking the most premiums. I'm talking some Valorant level skins, right? They should cost $10. But
also, I made, if I drop, I've blacked out.
Honestly, though, what do you?
Under a storm around us.
All right, sweet, fair enough. Do you guys think that the stores are overpriced? Microtransaction stores?
Even Valor, like
anything.
Like,
Name a game.
Talking about.
Actually, I'm Redux, right? Name a game where you think the store is fair.
CFEs.
Okay.
I'll pay that.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Honestly, I will give it to him because like it just
They're
purely
cheap.
cosmetics.
Yeah,
and they are cheap.
Get it in-game.
and there's a lot of cosmetics in game already that you can buy with in-game currency that only takes like I don't think it's that hard of a grind to actually get.
Do you not get the same skins?
No, you do get like
money?
So for Sea of Thieves, you've got the base skins, and then you can pay for like skins that are similar, just a little bit more advanced. But the ones you can get with in-game currency are very, very similar to what you can get in the store. It's just like a bit better version. That's all.
Okay.
It'd be like a purple quality to a gold quality.
But we all think that the $24 for a bundle in Call of Duty is overpriced. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
But at least the bundle gives you some pay to win aspects of the game.
Do you think that's a good thing?
Stuff is pay to win.
Do you think that's a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's more worth it than fucking Overwatch cosmetics.
Do you think those skins give you any? Do you not think Overwatch skins at all give you advantage in the game?
No, because you got a massive fucking silhouette around.
Yeah, you're not right.
It's not like a gimp suit in Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah, you're not
2019. It's like, oh, you can't fucking see them because they're skinny and black.
Yeah, well, they say the skins in the Overwatch store are a staggering $20, and I don't think that's that bad, to be honest, because I know that's going to be $25 to $30 in Australia. But that's the going rate for skins in stores these days. Like, that's just the going rate.
Well, I know you mentioned about the Valorant skins, like how good they are. While I agree, you get a pack. That's over $100.
Yeah, they're good, but are they worth $100? Even 50 for one skin, bro. Are they worth that much money?
No cosmetic stuff should be worth that much.
Not at all.
And like, I come from the CS background, so don't even talk about fucking knives and an AWP Dragon Lore. Like, that shit's fucked. People are paying like 10 grand for that sort of stuff.
Well, alright, let me phrase this question differently then. Do you think the Overwatch 1 loot boxes were less predatory than $30 skins?
Yes.
I agree. No. I agree totally. And Julian's seen me go through the ringer with those motherfuckers, but I genuinely think...
I don't know. It's just as predatory. It's like a fucking slot machine.
Do you think, right?
It's a random chance.
Like, do you think it's better to have a battle pass or a loot box every time you level up?
It depends on a few different things.
Alright, we've played Overwatch 1. We've played Overwatch 2. I personally prefer Overwatch 1. How they're loot boxes, you would get one every time you level up, regardless of anything, right?
Yeah.
And there's other ways to open those loot boxes.
The only thing they could have done to maybe change it to be a bit less predatory is take out the fact that you could buy the loot boxes.
Yeah, but they gotta sell something, right? This is a game at the end of the day. No, but like, if we were to put Overwatch 1 system in Overwatch 2, they would have to still sell loot boxes to make money.
What about a combination of a loot box and a battle pass?
How would that work?
So every time you level up, whether you got a free battle pass or a paid battle pass, you get a loot box. But then you also get the tier for the battle pass, but the only stuff you can get in the loot boxes is stuff from previous battle passes as well as the base stuff. The current battle pass stuff you only get while leveling the current battle pass.
I was gonna say that fucking before, Cookie, but the thing is, that is way too generous for any company in
It is,
today's day.
but then
Especially
like, you put the
Activision Blizzard.
battle pass price
wouldn't
to
do
like
it.
$25 or something, which some are
No,
already at that price anyway.
Don't raise that fucking price, because that's just shit.
It's an entry level
Oh,
price.
my-
You're right. It's an entry level price. He's not wrong.
Because the price of the Overwatch battle pass, I'm pretty sure was cheaper than like the COD battle pass. I don't know. I know it's definitely cheaper than the LoL battle pass.
Yeah, fuck.
I think the battle pass works better for the game as well, because like, for you to finish it, and you need to continue playing. I think the issue also with battle passes that starting to see is it's getting way too grindy. Like Overwatch 2's battle pass
Yes.
for the season, I don't know if it's 1 or not, was disgusting apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, we played a bit in the first week, and we barely cracked level 15.
I didn't.
People were
I
playing
didn't.
like a month and a half,
Mm.
and they were still, not even there. And then when they got to 100, they got the fucking shittest thing. Apparently, there's prestige awards, which weren't skins, so you got to level 100 or whatever it was. And after that, there were like 30 nameplates that you could fucking get.
That's so terrible. What the
Wow.
fuck?
It makes
How
no
fucking
sense.
exciting!
Oh, dude, this game flops, and I'm on the subreddit quite often, and it's been hard since that game came out. Just looking at it, it's just mostly negative, mostly.
Which is a
complaints.
shame because
Yeah.
when like the first Overwatch came out, I fucking loved that.
I
Oh,
I
dude,
enjoyed when
what they
Overwatch 2
did was
came out again.
disgusting.
I enjoyed
They
it.
really killed it.
It was Overwatch 1. Like, nobody can disagree that it was exactly the
Yeah.
same game with 3 new characters and
Like, I could
one best
understand if
player.
they did an engine upgrade, but they didn't even do an engine
No,
upgrade.
they
It's
didn't
the
do
exact
shit.
same engine they used
Yeah.
on Overwatch 1.
And
And
you
it's
know,
so
you guys
dumb.
heard me.
Graphics
So
and
expected
everything looked
for
the same.
Blizzard.
When the game came out, I was coping so hard. Everyone was like saying, "Oh, it's Overwatch 1.5," and I was like, "Nah, man, nah. There's no. It feels so different. I swear to you guys." And then, like, I played it for a week, and I was like, "Bro, what am I saying? This is just cope. I'm just coping."
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
this
you
is.
just wanted to believe.
Yeah, I wanted to believe so bad because I wanted that feeling again.
Mm.
I wanted it bad, but unfortunately, yeah, games these days. Am I right?
And talking about it as
Yeah.
well, do you think a big issue with why it just became not really fun to play? Like we dropped it. Like if it's Overwatch 1, right? But we enjoyed 1.
Yeah.
Do you think a big issue was that it only allowed for 5 players? Because I've seen that argument pushed a lot, and I do agree with it.
I
It
don't.
makes
I
the
think
tank
it's just
I-
because
have
it's
to
such
work
like
so much
Overwatch
more.
1.
Yeah.
Like, when you first played Overwatch 1, you're like, oh shit, this is a new game. This feels amazing. But then you play Overwatch 2 and it's just like, well, this just feels like Overwatch 1.
They should have held it back. They needed what they needed to do was release Overwatch 1.5 with the single player campaign the co-op campaign that they
that's
keep
what
talking
happened.
about like it's gonna happen, right? But where is it? Where the fuck is it?
Yeah.
And like Call of Duty, the momentum's just gone.
Yep.
Mm.
All right, look, I'm done with
It just-
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, it just feels too much like Overwatch 1, and I've like it's literally it just feels like I've gone back for a new season. Like a
Yeah.
new season started, I've gone back and played it
Yeah.
instead of like it doesn't have that new feel game.
hmm
And
Oh.
I think that's why I dropped it so quick.
I'm gonna continue the cope. I'm hoping when that co-op mode comes out, it's fantastic, right? I'm gonna continue the cope. I really think it.
It is Blizzard, so let's not get our hopes up too high.
Well, that's
on the-
and that's
on
a
the
sad thing to
positive-
say. All right, you hit me. Hit me. Go some positives.
On the positive of this, we're not the only ones who think this way. And like we were talking about before about how much skins cost. We are not the only people who think this way. And I don't think people are falling for it anymore.
Mm,
They're like, this is bullshit. This is like, I paid what fucking $100 for Call of Duty, and it's ratty.
Yeah.
Like I'm not having
Yeah.
fun anymore. And there's so many people that feel that way. You remember how many people we met and had fun with in Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand the
Yeah.
crowd that was there
Yeah.
for the entire year.
the whole
At least
year.
Close to 9 months of the year.
Well,
This
it,
game
like,
hasn't
I
even
wasn't
lasted a
playing
month
with you
and a
boys
half.
then either. Like
Yeah.
2019 was
We had a
like
complete-
end of
Halfway through,
2019,
yeah.
I just started playing with you boys because we had that it was like S&D off between your guys and the guys I was playing with at the time.
Mm,
And the boys I played with, like T, and just everybody I played Modern Warfare 2019 with, out of all the 8 I played with, only one's still playing. And a lot of those boys came from the Battlefield scene and have now gone back
To Battlefield.
to Battlefield. That's putting it in perspective as well, because
Yeah.
like 2042, it's a lot better now, but they had gone back before 2042 had become a bit better. So like that's saying a lot.
Let's play Battlefield 3, guys.
Wait, but on that note,
2042 's
right?
been pretty good.
On that note, right? Me and Julian had a bunch of mates we used to play with, and not a single one of them play anymore. Not any of them play anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And the thing is, how can you fuck it up? It is generally the same game, but they have just upped things, so I don't want to get back into COD.
Have a video.
Things that were rowdy.
I have a video coming out this week. Seriously, I'm really keen to release. I'm really keen to record it, and it covers this topic, and why I think Modern Warfare was this apex for Call of Duty. And I never thought COD would ever make it back to that point again, but now I'm for certain that it will never make it back to that point again.
Yeah. I'll finish the COD topic with my hot take was if 2019 had ranked, it would have been arguably the best COD of all time.
I agree. I hate Modern Warfare 2019, but I agree.
And I have played a lot of COD since COD 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna quickly pivot a question pretty much to Julian. We had a little discussion last night. I didn't go. Was it last night? It was a couple nights ago. We didn't finish this conversation, Julian. But I asked you how long till. This is what I asked Julian. I said, how long before Xbox Cloud streaming comes to Switch? And he said, doesn't matter, right?
My answer is biased just because I want to buy a new Nintendo console.
Right, he said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It says Nintendo just needs a new Switch. So my question to him is Xbox Cloud streaming good for Switch, or is the new Switch the only one true way?
I just don't believe in the processing power of that little. Like, it's great.
I don't
for what
either.
it is,
That's fair.
but
Mate, Arceus frame drops.
Skyrim, right? It can run Skyrim, but can it run Battlefield 2?
Mate, Arceus has fucking frame drops.
It over the cloud?
Yeah, it can stream it over the cloud. Fucking oath. A fucking glass with a microchip could stream it over the cloud, cunt.
Because it's the server that is actually running the game and doing most of the.
But you're missing the point, Julian. They already have games streaming on Nintendo Switch, and they work really well. The Witcher 3, for example.
Well, I mean, not to mention, like, you can watch YouTube and that on the Switch.
They're
That's all
old.
streamed.
It's all old though. You're talking about old titles. I'm talking about the latest titles.
Doom.
Yeah, it
Doom
definitely could.
Eternal.
No, I don't think that was a very graphically inducing game.
Cat!
on.
That's cope! That's
Doom
cope!
Eternal.
You're coping right now. I'm glad you're here for this conversation, Cookie. Because in my opinion, if the new fucking Nintendo Switch, right, isn't coming out next year, right? Yeah. They need to call up Microsoft, daddy, right? I want your Xbox Cloud streaming. I don't want any of the games. No downloaded games, none of that shit. I just want the streaming service, and we'll add it into Nintendo Gold. Right?
Yep.
Boom, done. That's a fucking console seller right there. You can play fucking Halo on that bitch. You can play Plague Tales of Requiem, Julian, on that bitch.
Hear me out. We could take it even a step more with the Switch console for it. Hear me out. Because streaming requires what? Internet.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah, that's right. Like, that is the one main factor you need in streaming, yeah. Well done, Cookie. This is a fucking intellectual.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing. I'm listening.
I haven't finished yet. Alright. What is one of the big selling points of the Switch?
It's portability.
Yeah, portability.
Exactly. So when you're out and about, what generally do you not have?
Time at all.
Internet.
Public transport.
So, what is a thing that the iPads have done and most tablets recently,
Oh.
so you can use them
4G.
while
Speak.
they're out and about?
Speak.
4G,
5G, baby.
SIM cards.
Yes, this is my guy right here.
Imagine adding a SIM card to a Switch so you can stream games wherever the fuck you go.
No, I'll take this as a win because I can't do that with the current console.
You're right,
Or
but
console, which allows
but-
Switch in
Nintendo, put me on a fucking not a developer, but ideas role. I'll help you.
in
No,
your
they
in
won't
your
have
po-
it,
saying
they
your
have
point,
it
Cookie. You
after
say
this year.
to your point, Cookie, right? You have this other thing. You have this other device on you 24/7. Do you know what that device is?
A phone.
What is that phone capable of doing?
It does. Yeah.
No. I'm not done. It
No,
can
you're
it can
not.
hotspot right from your
That's
pocket
true.
to your
Yep.
Switch, bro. So what's the point? What's the difference? You could just use that as your SIM card, right?
You could. I just feel like it'd be easier to be like, yeah, I've got my phone. Because let's be honest, when you're playing Switch, you don't really have your phone in your hand.
Well, in my opinion, right, the Switch, against my opinion, actually, right, the Switch having your shit on Xbox Cloud streaming on Switch is irrelevant, right, because you can just stream games off your phone. Man, I was playing, mate, when it was during winter, it was dead at Attitude, so I started playing Yakuza 7 on my phone.
Yeah.
It was literally the best time I've ever had at work. It was just chilling in the corner
That's
playing
casual
Yakuza
at work.
7. Well, there was nothing to do. But yeah, like I think not.
I think it'll
But
work
I
fine
think
for single
the
player.
only thing the Switch would have over that is it has inbuilt, right. It's a gaming console for one, right, and it has inbuilt controllers already, so you can just pull it out, connect it to your phone, and then start streaming a game, right?
Okay, well, I know I wasn't really a part of this to start with, but I want to build on this because there's another thing that's been released recently, which is a competitor to the Switch.
Oh, the Steam Deck, yeah.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck.
We know this.
So in comparison to what you can do on the Switch, because there's not a big deal of cloud on the Switch, but Steam does have cloud. Nice cloud there, Benny.
Thank you.
But Steam does have cloud-based gaming itself.
Yep. Yeah, it does. It's already in there, ready to go.
And there's
A lot more.
there's a hell of a lot more games you can get on Steam than what you'd be able to on Switch. Now, in saying that, there's no Pokemon. I mean, there's Temtem, which is pretty close and it's pretty fun, but there's no Pokemon.
Doesn't have Charmander though, so
I've heard an argument about
Doesn't have
that as well.
Lucario. That's the main one here.
I've heard a lot of Nintendo exclusives are too pricey, and it's not
For him
really
to
worth
get
it.
the IP to be able to use on a different one.
join. What is this new news, Julie? What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I just mean as an exclusive. Like, obviously, you have to have a Switch for first off, and then you have to buy what? How much did Arceus cost you, Ben?
69.
Which is cheaper than PlayStation and Xbox games brand new.
Yeah, but at least you can play that on the PC if you already own that for a different reason.
Yeah, but I can play Pokemon on a plane. I can't do that with COD.
Played Pokemon on the shitter, bro.
I mean, you can do that with COD on COD Mobile.
You gotta have your phone on airplane mode. And
Can't do it in Battlefield, though.
You can't play online.
No, but you can play Pokemon on a plane. I did it on the way back home to Melbourne.
Yeah. I played Mario Kart on the way to Fiji. Actually, yeah, it was fun.
I would have really liked to play Mario Kart on the way home, but my daughter lost it within a day of buying
There you go,
Anyway.
missing. Yeah. All right. There's a new topic. There's a new section in the IGL Podcast Redux. Okay.
It's Nintendo
I've given Julian his own corner. This is what I've
don't worry
done.
about it.
This
Don't
cunt's
worry.
insane, bro. So
I'm
no,
gonna make
yeah. I've given Julian his own corner, bro. So
Yeah.
Julian, you're the host of this section. Julian, please. I'm going to introduce this. This is Julian's crazy Reddit stories, okay? So Julian,
Can you show the picture?
no, he took it out. He took it out like a little bitch, right? He took it out like a little bitch.
about porn and internet farts.
You little bitch, okay? But Julian, this is your
do the
section.
first one?
You introduce your topics, okay? From Reddit. Thank you, please.
Well, I feel like you have more of an opinion on this one anyway.
I would love to jump in, but after you're done, okay?
Velma came out this week.
Really?
The animated series
Velma?
called
Velma
Velma
from what?
Scooby Doo. So it's the 4 characters. It is
Wait,
Velma.
wait. Explain. What's Velma, bro?
I am.
Okay.
So it's the 4 characters. It's Velma from the original Scooby Doo, who has been race swapped.
Oh, what race is she now?
Indian, maybe. She's voiced by Mindy Kaling, so I'm imagining. But I haven't actually watched the show. So Ben, does it mention in the show what she is?
I don't think so. It mentions that she's not white though, so
Yeah, so yeah, the race is not white. Which honestly, I don't think has an issue. She doesn't look.
she looks
Right?
like the original character, but black, man.
Yeah, I know it's strange. I feel like it could have done a bit more. Like at least with Norville, they put some effort into it.
Wait,
Like
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, bro?
Well, it's like it's a different hairstyle, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. But he does have that stoner look about him still.
Oh yeah, of course he does.
Without
But
being,
it's really funny that
yeah.
they've replaced, the maids, the black character as Stoner.
You know what the
Oh
animation
no,
of this
no,
looks
I will
like?
get to that though. I will get to that, Julian.
It's a different hairstyle. Obviously, they've hired the correct actors, and they haven't hired a white actor to voice the black character. So that's good. They're ticking all the fucking work boxes. Scooby Doo isn't in it anymore, which I find interesting.
It is
as I said-
definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it's so strange.
Yeah, it is weird.
That's who kids vibe off. I think the two characters of the duo is Shaggy and Scooby. And I don't mind Norville and Scooby. That's fine, but it's now just Norville.
They're definitely building to having Scooby doing it.
It's
The
just-
best
it's
character
just
of was
weird.
Scrappy.
Yeah, no,
Just
definitely.
wrong. You're wrong.
I'll give you that.
You're wrong. You're just wrong.
Movie-
I'm
movie
sorry.
was fantastic as him as a film.
You're just wrong. You're wrong. Worst character. You're wrong.
He was an annoying little cunt. But
All right. Do you want to jump in as a person who's actually seen this show, Julian?
yeah, go right ahead. I don't know.
Because
what
your
you want.
introduction for this was awful. When I asked for context, I wanted like a link or something.
To the HBO show in 1, 2, 3
No,
movies.
no, man. Give me an article or something, bro.
Don't pirate the show.
Cookie had no idea what the fuck this show was.
Scooby Doo. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, it's
There you
blowing
go.
up.
Now he's been informed.
It's been
It's
blowing
all
up on
about
Reddit and other
Yeah,
places.
Yeah,
I can
it's been
see that.
review bombed.
All right,
Yeah,
so
got a lot
what's
of
this review score right now, Julian? See, this would have been good context. Yeah, you look up its review score.
I can tell you right now. I've got it in front of me.
Yeah, what is it?
So it's got a 7% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. 0.4 out of 10 in user reviews on Metacritic. A 59 out of 100 from critics, so 5.9 out of 10.
Yeah, I see
1.4 out of 5 on Google. And with 9,000 votes, 1.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
All right, look, I'm about to come in with a hot take.
It's really not that bad.
It's really not that bad, bro. It's really not that bad. But I think people are so mad because they have this nostalgia for Scooby Doo, which, mind you, I have in some way, shape, or form too. But I just don't see how this show isn't great. Don't get me wrong, this show is not good. I wouldn't call it good, but I also wouldn't say it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not as bad as what have I watched recently? It's not as bad as Blockbuster. That show is fucking garbage, right? It's not as bad as what's the conspiracy suit? Nah, that show fucking sucks, bro. It is awful, bro.
Get renewed for a second season.
Did it really?
Yeah, no, it got tanked.
Oh, thank fuck, because that show is awful, bro. That has such a good premise, such a good premise for an awful show. And what was the other one? That fucking conspiracy theory one. But it's animated.
Netflix?
Yeah, on Netflix. Anyway, that show is also fucking terrible. But this show here is not that bad. Honestly, I watched the first two
Inside
episodes. Inside Job. Inside
Yeah,
Job.
They got axed as well.
Yeah, it's a terrible show. There's a couple of this is what I'm finding with these new animated shows, right? There's a couple of okay jokes, right? Shaggy, I put Shaggy / Norville, right? This is for you, Julian. He's anti-weed. He hates it, right? He can't stand it, which is funny, right?
Yeah, right.
It's just very. It even points to the camera and laughs. It's a very meta joke, but it's funny because we know, right? Which he has like a YouTube channel where he reviews snacks, and he finds out the stoners enjoy his show, and he's like, "Oh, this is what I didn't want to happen," and I thought that was such a good bit. That's such a good bit. Shout out to Crossovers in the chat. There's another good bit. Like I'm cherry picking bits right now because these are the bits that like stood out to me. There's another bit where a girl's singing like that song "Riding My Pony," and she's at a funeral, and it's just so out of place. It's hilarious, right? But most of the time, I would say, I put it sometimes, but most of the times the jokes just feel really forced. There's in the opening scene, like literally first maybe 3 minutes, they're doing a scene in the shower, right? It's about TV pilots being really raunchy while they're in a TV pilot being really raunchy. I'm really disappointed by Velma's character. She's she's kind of mid. She's trying to solve the mystery why her mum left, which gives her hallucinations, which makes you feel for her. But she's just kind of a bitch, man.
She just wanted milk.
Yeah, pack of cigarettes.
Mate, she's just really she's kind of a bitch, and understandably, right? But she's just kind of a bitch, and you're like, man, do you really need to be that rude? Like Norville, he's trying really hard to show Velma that he's into her, and she just shuts him, destroys him, bro, without knowing it, right? But at the same time, it's just not fun to watch that.
How's Fred's character? Because I've heard he's just an arsehole.
Fred's always been
Alright,
an
so
arsehole, though.
Fred, that's what I'm saying. People are like, oh, Fred, they turned him into a kid who's a cunt. And I'm like, he was always a cunt. Just, he was pretending to be this macho. In this show, they've stripped him down to that macho title and made him into a man-child. There's a bit where he can't cut a steak because he's such a rich little baby boy, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
right? And it's like, it's
an origin story. There's so much character development.
It's...
Yeah, skin change.
He didn't. Fred and Daphne are exactly the same as you remember him, but Daphne sells drugs.
I mean, I've watched the live action Scooby Doo's. I can so see that.
Yeah.
That's real weird. I didn't expect that.
But
Apparently, she is super dumb.
She's
Again,
just
I've seen
a
the
super
live
bitch.
action, I can see that.
She's just a mega bitch.
Even more so, just.
I wouldn't say she's necessarily stupid, but I'd say she's just all these characters are kind of unlikable apart from Norville. I don't like Fred. But he's okay. This show's about Velma. I don't like Velma. Daphne. She's never been the best character. And Norville, he's really the star of the show. When they introduce him, he kind of sucks, but after that, you really start to grow and like him a bit. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Really, this show it's not a point. What is it? 0.4 on 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
6%.
It's not a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a 6%, right?
Did it drop even more? This what I'm reading from was a 15th of the first. So in that 2 days, it's dropped a whole percent, which is insane because it's already had 2 days ago. It had 3,000 reviews. So for it to drop a whole percent in 2 days. There's been a lot more fucking.
There is the shit of the week where people are just jumping on it, like the hate train, and they probably haven't actually watched it.
Well,
similar to what Cyberpunk had when it was released. You had all the people that actually did bomb it properly, but then you just had the people that just jumped on the bandwagon.
Did you see what's happened lately? Just to jump on that train. Apparently, since Cyberpunk got Labor of Love, most likely from the animated series and then all the work they've done.
Yeah.
They were real close to being very positive reviews on Steam.
Yeah.
And since they got the award at the VGAs or whatever it's fucking called.
The Steam Awards.
Yeah. What?
I think it was a Steam Award, that one.
Was it? Oh,
yeah.
I think they win an award at that big one?
I don't think so. Awards? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, the VGAs is the big one.
Yeah, so since then it's been review bombed. So there's just a hate train that people like to jump on.
Yeah.
And who knows if they've actually played the game or people who have actually watched the show.
I mean, if you've played the game and watched the show, you'll know that there's some good stuff in between all the bullshit.
Yeah, I played it and quite enjoyed it.
Watch the Velma show and they're just review bombing it because they race swapped.
But that's what I said to you.
I definitely see that.
That's what I said to you, man. All the stuff I see online is this show looks bad. Not I've watched it and it's terrible.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's that bad.
When you watch, speaking of looks, because I didn't know anything about this till just now, right? So, and I've grown up watching Scooby Doo, and as I said, I've watched the live action movies, and growing up, my celebrity crush in my teenagehood was the chick that played Velma because she was
Oh, yeah.
fucking hot.
For sure, it wasn't even Daphne. Not
But-
even close. It was Velma.
Yeah. But like looking at the visuals for this show, does anybody remember Daria?
Yeah.
The animation looks fucking identical.
Now you say that, Cookie, I actually can see some similarities between this show and Daria.
Which
This
is
show is just
sad
a-
because Daria was around when I was like fucking 12, and that's
In 97.
okay. It's not. I'm not that old, but oh wait,
This show is just a
07?
more fucked up version of Daria, I guess.
because everybody's. What I've noticed with a lot of the cartoon nowadays, like you look at Rick and Morty, that had a big success, but a lot of its success came from its early seasons before kind of they've had
Not
to kind of.
anymore, Cookie.
Yeah, we're
I
getting
was
this
gonna
is a good
say,
segue.
until they've had to like
Getting a segue.
cut back on a lot of the jokes. Everything was
Ah,
trying to be on like that, like Family Guy kind of sort of stuff, where they just went completely out there, but they were trying to do that without being too offensive to people. I mean,
Okay.
you can't beat the classic cartoons. Like nothing nowadays that's coming out is any good.
Except for
Uh,
Marvel. Everybody
Except
likes
what?
Marvel movies, right?
Well, no, they're not cartoon movies.
Oh, that's fair.
I more mean like the
Talking about animated.
yeah.
I
Like
think there's still
cartoon-
animated shows coming out that's good.
What do you mean?
Yeah. They're anime. They're not cartoons.
No, animated. I do think there's animated shows that come out good. I think Rick and
Like
Morty,
what?
but as soon as we get into it, Julian's going to love this one. But I think the new season of Rick and Morty is really good. Final Space only finished last year, and it's an amazing show.
It never finished.
It got cancelled last year. Dude, you need to watch it. Go to Netflix after this. Final Space. Just
I
start.
don't have a Netflix account, but did you just say it got cancelled?
Yeah, it got cancelled.
Yeah, okay, I'm not watching.
That's not a bad show though, Cookie.
No. Hear me out. I am
There are 3 seasons of it, though.
traumatized by Firefly.
I don't care. I don't care about Firefly. I don't care.
Firefly deserved another season before it got cancelled.
Yeah, everything deserves another season before it gets cancelled, bro.
I mean, yeah, some
Except
come
for-
back.
except
Look
for
at
that-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it came
Except for
back.
Inside Job. Except for Inside Job. Never give that shit another episode.
I got picked up within like an hour.
Yeah, but it still got cancelled. Like, what dumb fuck cancels that?
The one trying to save money.
They lost money.
Was it NBC? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was one of the big American corporations. Speaking of new age cartoons, though, has anybody seen the? Like, I've only seen the pilot of it myself, but do you guys know of the Venos crew?
Yeah, of course.
Did you know about them doing a cartoon?
Yes, I did know about this. Yeah.
By that expression, I'd say you haven't seen it.
No, but I watched Velma. Fuck me.
Is it? Is it on YouTube or a different platform?
Yes. No, it's on YouTube.
Okay, is it good?
I've not actually watched it fully yet. I've only watched the pilot. I don't think they've fully. I don't think they've sent out the next season, the first season yet. So they had a pilot. They had to get a certain amount of likes and stuff on it, like views and likes, before they would go ahead with it.
Okay.
And apparently they did, and then it did get picked up. But I'm unsure whether or not they have sent it for a for its first season release yet.
All right, well, we'll come back to that
But
one.
it
I
looked
think.
good.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
good.
it did look good. I will say that.
Well, Julian, while we're on the topic of high-profile animated shows, do you want to cover this next topic?
Big Mouth.
Another trash animated show.
Are we talking about Rick and Morty?
Oh, this is your section, bro. Look, it's Julian's crazy
man.
Reddit stories.
It is hard to hear the
alphabetical.
news.
Mate, you keep fucking sending it to me like, oh, look at this.
Because it's sort of cringy, sort of funny, sort of disgusting. And Cookie, you wouldn't know what's going on, would you?
What are you talking about?
So the co-creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland,
Let me have a look. Justin, who? Roiland.
Roiland, Roiland. He is the voice of Rick and Morty. I imagine he's also the
Oh,
He's the
I've
voice of a
just
lot
seen
of
all the news.
characters. Yeah, he's the
yeah, a
voice of a
lot of
lot
the
of characters.
characters.
Yeah, go
He
on.
was just the voice of one of the guns and a lot of the NPCs of High and Life, and also I don't know if he was also a co-developer. Or
Yeah,
what.
yeah, it's his development studio.
Oh, he was part of Adventure Time, Gravity Falls.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of those, some
Very
big shows.
big name.
He's Lemon Grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2020, I can't remember what month, he was accused with whoever his partner was of domestic abuse. Since then, they've gone through, probably multiple interviews and hearings and stuff, and some news, probably New York Times or something like that, it picked up that he has been in this and he is now going to trial. Since that was
Yep.
first picked up, a lot of people have spoken up who were underage fans at the time, had message chains with this creator, with the Justin, and it does not look good.
Is it more than just the ones you showed me from 8 years ago, Jules?
There apparently it's been ongoing for 7 years, since 2015.
Fucking hell.
So, like a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of the people who do get a young fan base, he's fallen into the trap of being a fucking creep.
It's happened quite a bit on Twitch.
Do you want to
Well,
read some of them? Do you want to read some of them posts, Jules? Or
No, I'm not going to read it. But basically, to summarize, he had nicknamed an underage 16-year-old fan jailbait. That was the nickname that he gave her, which obviously is a horrible fucking nickname. Yeah, and it's like you understand that it is wrong and that it is illegal. So I don't know what he's
we're not accusing. We're not accusing him of underage yucks, right?
I don't know if he's
But
physically done
some
anything,
sus,
since
some
all the
sus
news, it's
behavior.
just been all negative.
Yeah, some sus behavior, bro.
The Rick and Morty subreddit on Reddit
Yeah.
has been highly moderated since all the news. So anything that you post about this, anything you post at all about the underage stuff, the felony domestic abuse, has just got blocked and banned straight away.
That's sauce
So
already.
they're trying to cover it up. He has pleaded not guilty.
So the domestic
Uh,
abuse.
Yeah, we will see what happens. His chances are very slim of getting out of it with just the text chains of the underage. Who knows if he actually
Even
committed
if it's just
sex
text
violence?
chains, what that does you for grooming
Yeah, no, that is grooming, but just
at the
like
very
it
least.
shows what his character is like and what he is
Yeah.
capable of as a
Look,
person. And
I wanted to be like, oh man, he's just got such a fucked up sense of humor. But when there's kids involved, man, no, right? Like instantly, it was like a kick defense because this guy I like really do appreciate and look up to, right? But then finding all this stuff about it, man, you can't fucking trust anyone higher up these days, man. You really fucking can't, eh?
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
You really have to this day and age. You really have to separate the art from the artist.
This is becoming more and more of a factor, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to listen to Kanye,
Huh?
but he's a piece of shit. Maybe if I just change the perspective I look in life, maybe I can enjoy these things.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's not even just like one industry either. Like it's in music, it's
everywhere.
in movies, it's in TV shows, it's in video games. Like I know I've keep up to date with a lot of the Twitch streaming news, and a lot of them have been done. Like, it's in esports. It's been done. There was a former Overwatch pro that got booted because he was talking to underage girls. Like it doesn't matter what industry. It just seems to be like there's always someone that does it.
Yeah,
And
this
like
behavior.
it is a lot less than what it used to be. Like, oh fuck, you go
You
all the
look
way
at
to
Hollywood back
600.
in the like 40s and 50s.
You go to 600 AD and it was so normal, right? But we're going way far back, and obviously we are getting to a point where this just won't be a thing anymore, right? I hope to God I'm being optimistic, but we're just propping up these people and going, oh, look, he has this creation. Oh, he's fucking. We love Justin Roiland, and then I guess that power and that fame allows them to have access.
It also makes them think they're invincible.
Yeah, they just think they're powerful and just do whatever they want,
Yep.
and that you see these consequences, and that's just the thing as well. It's like even if you are someone who has these flaws and you're the prize, right? But then why act on it? Like, why would you? How do people just keep falling for it? Like, there will never be consequences for their actions. It makes no sense to me. But it does not breed well for the Rick and Morty show, which would be the second Dan Harmon project that fucking falls off before it was probably meant to.
What was the first?
Community.
Community. And
Ah.
probably more if we go back.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Man, it's not a good run, but Dan Harmon is a guy that will make another show, bro. There's no
Oh, yeah,
chance
for
he
sure.
won't. He'll make
He'll be
something
fine.
else.
He
He'll be
doesn't
right.
like he's been in the industry long enough, and
Yeah.
he doesn't like. There's nothing about Dan Harmon. There's not a single whisper. But if you take out the voice actor for Rick and Morty, plus a lot of the other talent,
Just random shit. Like the thing is
Random
about Rick and Morty is Justin Roiland doesn't like sometimes apart from his main characters, he doesn't have lines. He just does bits.
yeah,
That's the thing. He just
a lot
does.
of
He just
improv.
fucking
I'm sure he's on the writing crew as well.
yeah. He just does bits though. He'll just walk in the studio. I'm Mr. Frundles. You know, like oh, that feels weird even saying that, bro. It sucks. It sucks. This is really shitty news. And this guy, if this is all true, right, is a shit person. It's terrible, right?
It's sort of hard to disprove when a screenshot.
No, that shit is that shit. I'm just looking at this, right?
Domestic abuse.
Yeah, this is bad, right? This is fucking awful, right? But that shit in the screenshots, bro, that's irredeemable. You can't do that.
What I'm reading here, Harmon himself has done sexual misconduct.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that long ago.
5 years, bro. We're ancient.
So, like,
But the thing is, these motherfuckers, right? These motherfuckers, right? No. I'm not putting that on Dan Harmon. No way. I do think he's even come out on his podcast and said, "This is what happened. This is what I did, and it was wrong." He admitted to it, fronted up. Justin Roiland, on the other hand, he's hiding, bro, and he hasn't said a fucking word about it. He's out in bail. Oh, he was out in bail in 2020, but misread that.
He was charged 4 days ago.
Yeah, but I'm talking. It was like, all right. So Roiland was released on $50,000 bail in August 2020. That's just what I read. I just assumed that was last year or this, like just now.
He was charged. I was just reading it. He was charged 4 days ago.
Yeah,
the domestic violence.
He's not in jail though. This is going to be going on for a while, I'm assuming. It just sucks, man. I've been playing High on Life. I really fucking like that game, and then this shit happens, bro.
Yeah, no, the timing is.
I can't even touch it, man. I can't even touch that game anymore.
He's got a protective order that he's not allowed to harass, threaten, or surveil the person named in it. He's also not allowed to be within 100 feet of that person. Lasts until October 2023.
Yeah, this is gross news, man. Super gross. Super disgusting. Why did you change the name?
Because not all from Reddit.
No, not this. Not this. The fucking name of the actual doc.
Oh, that wasn't me. Was it? I
know Cookie's not on here, so. Alright, let's change this topic anyway. Justin Roiland's a piece of shit.
It doesn't look good for the show Rick and Morty. Yeah. Who knows if it will continue? Like,
he's only co-creator though, so that might be.
Yeah, but he's a voice actor, so
he is the fucking voice actor.
Right?
That's true.
The thing that might happen is they hire someone else who can pretty much nail it 99%, has the same sort of creative mindset, right? Which is like it's low probability. It's most likely not going to happen.
I actually really liked Moist Critical talked about this. I'm going to jump in and say this last thing. Justin Roiland kind of changed comedy in animations in a way, you know, and it's the over explaining a joke so much that it becomes funny. He can literally turn, in my opinion, he can make anything funny. Like in High on Life, he has this bit where it's like this sock. There's 3 socks, right? One of the socks accuses the other 2 socks, right? The sock is sock 1 and there's sock 2. They're friends, right? Sock 3 is a woman's sock, right? They're just sock puppets. And sock 1 accuses sock 2 of sleeping with sock 3. And they admit it. They admit they did it. And then sock 1 tells them to have sex in front of them, right? to like, because it'll be funny. And just how that bit plays out had me literally crying laughing. Because it's just he can turn the most random shit into absolute hilariousness. And I don't think there's anyone else that can do that, even if they can imitate the Rick and Morty voices. So, in my honest opinion, if this is all true, Rick and Morty is just up the creek, bro.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I'll say about this is he's set to return to court in April.
You better be getting some voice lines out. That's for fucking sure. Better be cranking out that Rick and Morty season.
I wouldn't even want to work with him.
I wouldn't want to work with him.
It'd be
I
hard
watch
for
it.
people who work with him, especially like I imagine there are females in his studio, or the whole studio, who help him record. They are the sound artists, or the engineers, or anything like the animators, whatever. You wouldn't.
There's a couple.
You wouldn't want to be in the same room.
Yeah, these motherfuckers have to stop drinking, bro. Seriously, they need to stop drinking. Yeah. I'm not putting this to the alcohol, right? Alcohol brings out the person inside of you, in my opinion, right? But like, they need to stop drinking. Dan Harmon stopped drinking, right? That when you brought up those accusations before, he was a heavy drinker, right? These motherfuckers need to lay off the sauce, bro. Seriously.
Although in saying that, doesn't that just mean he's like that down deep?
It could be. Yeah, he certainly could be. And maybe I'm wrong too, Cookie, but I have this... Yeah, I just fucking... As Julian said, it's hard to separate the art from the person. For you, Julian, it might not be. For some of us, it really is. And Community and Rick and Morty are two of my favourite shows ever. So
I guess it'd be similar to like... if you're a long-time WoW fan with all the stuff Blizzard
went through. Yeah, 100%. It was even hard to see that McCree shit on it. It was hard. It was hard to look at. It was hard to watch. It's hard to be a fan of that Overwatch series and that shit's going on in the offices.
Yeah.
All right, can we get onto the r/circle jerk shit, please? That's so much. It's kind of funny. That's at least kind of funny.
Which one? The transphobic?
Yeah, fucking oath.
So, who's keen for Hogwarts Legacy, guys?
Me! Yep. Woo!
I think like everybody's familiar with the transphobic comments that J.K. Rowling has made in the past about. I think it pretty much stems from originally that there are no trans people in the wizardry universe. I don't know why she feels like she must make that point.
The HPCU?
No.
Wouldn't it just be the HPU?
Oh yeah, because there's books too. You're right. The HPU is that we're talking about the HPU now, Jules.
Sounds like a sauce.
Oh, the Harry Potter universe. I feel like it's not just. I feel like it's Hogwarts. Sorry, I forgot the Harry Potter character.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you're right. So yeah,
there's also Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, that's true. So,
but it's under the Harry Potter branch. Let's be real.
Which is the WU Wizard Universe.
No, we're not doing that.
I would go the Hogwarts universe or the Dumbledore universe. I don't know what you want to fucking call it, but everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows she made
Voldemort universe.
She made these comments, right? So with the release of the new game, Reddit is going fucking crazy. There is a subreddit called Gaming Circle Jerk, and it's mostly shit posting about the stereotypes and trends and the people, like the bad, the negative about gaming, right? Not so much how gamers are violent, but gamers are racist, sexist, what, etc. And they pretty much explicitly said, if you buy this game, you are transphobic, and you do not support trans people, which is absolutely crock of shit. Stems from truth.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like the big picture here, my personal opinion, is just demonetize the cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just cut her away from that. Sign a petition, for fuck's sake. Like, gaming's such a hard community to be in because we had so many disappointments.
Not just that, we get stereotyped so badly. Like looking at us three. Okay, Julesy says some crazy things sometimes, but I definitely wouldn't say any of us three at the very least, or any in our like COD group, for instance. None of us are racist. Most of you boys all have partners. One of us, two of us have children. Like, we're not sexist. We're not racist. Like, we all work. Cross as a stay-at-home dad, but like outside of that, like majority of us are working either 9 till 5 or at least like over 20, 25 hours a week sort of thing. Like we're all just regular humans. All we do is we just play video games in our spare time.
That's our hobby. That's how we like to spend our free time.
Yeah, and like some of us like crosses in one part of Australia. I'm in another part of Australia. Two of the boys are in another part of Australia. It's the only way, unless we're all together, maybe for like New Year's or something. It's the only way we can jump on and do stuff with everybody.
It's not like we can be like one of the other groups and just sit in a Discord party and just drink a few beers and talk shit. Probably could.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's probably something that we could do. but it's not
definitely. If we
something could
were
do
playing like Cards of Humanity
every
or something.
fucking day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like gaming and online communities and online games is something that we like to have and
Apple.
give ourselves play to, I guess, connect with each other and then enjoy our time as well.
Yeah.
We're making the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
So,
I know for a few of us, it's a great one down after work. Like you used to love doing it when you were a chef, Benny.
Yeah, it's the only way, honestly, bro. Because there's nothing, especially right, maybe in a chef, you hit home at 10:30. There's nothing going on. There's nothing else going on. My missus is asleep. I'm in bed, bro. Like I can't talk to my friends, because they're either going to go back to their houses because they're chefs too, or like you guys, right? You guys 9 to 5 workers. And there's nothing I can do but come home and play games, right? Well, I could sit there and watch Netflix, but to me that's not that engaging, right?
Yeah.
No,
I get over
I'm
it.
the same. Like, okay, I'll watch anime and I really enjoy anime, but I have a 45 to an hour minute trip to work on a train in the morning. I can do that then. Whereas, like, I do that in the morning and then in the afternoon as well, and then I might go to the gym. And then after that, I don't want to just kind of go straight to bed. I'm like, well, I still want to do stuff. I'll jump on, play some games, see if the boys are on.
Yeah.
And like it's letting me be sociable on a weekday night when I can't go in and do stuff that's sociable in person.
Yeah. It's all my favorite escapes are gaming related. You know what I mean? Whether it's YouTube, whether it's CDL, right? Whether it's gaming, right? All of it's gaming related. Like I have a whole stack of board games. I love gaming, regardless. It's my way of
physical or digital.
It's my way of interacting with people. Like if you come to my house, right, just know that we're going to probably end up playing a game.
Yeah, whether it's a Switch or poker.
Yeah, exactly. So we all
I just sit on the lounge and I go, oh, we're watching a show. What do I do with my fucking
hands, right? Yeah.
What am I doing with my hands? My thumbs, I feel like they need to be moving right now.
Well, even like just sitting there watching, like you mentioned your thumbs, like I'll watch, like I love sport, for instance. I fucking love my sport, but I can't just sit and watch sport. I will happily watch it on a second screen while I'm playing like WoW or Final Fantasy or something like that, because I'm still active. I'm doing things. Like I feel like my mind's still doing stuff when I'm playing video games because I've got to think of all the different things. I've got to aim. I've got to try to outthink the opposition, anything like that. Whereas like, if I'm just sitting there watching Netflix or sport or fucking anything like that, it's like I feel like I'm being completely useless. I'm not doing anything.
Oh, dude, I pick up my phone immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, like I'll start fucking playing Pokemon Go on my phone. I'm still playing a game. It's just on my phone.
Yeah. So we don't think buying Hogwarts Legacy is transphobic.
No.
Look, J.K. Rowling need to shut her fucking mouth.
Facts.
Honestly, just write a book. Do what George R. R. Martin's doing. He's not an opinionated person. He's not coming out and saying, oh, fuck the gays or whatever. He's just writing books. He's writing content for fucking Elden Ring. He's a good book writer. J.K. Rowling just needed to do the same thing. Like I think the problem is she just got on Twitter and then people were asking her shit.
Well, that's what it came from, wasn't it? It was an AMA.
And it's really weird as well. It's like Dumbledore is gay, but you don't like trans. In a world of magic where you could literally change your genitalia, you think someone wouldn't? You think someone wouldn't go wishy-washy, change?
Yeah, like it would save somebody money on a strap-on.
Oh, look, I got tits now. And they just do the same spell again, and the tits are gone.
No, what's the smell? What's the smell?
I fucking Expelliarmus.
All right, but we're all keen for
Look,
Hogwarts Legacy.
she can make a good spell name. Like,
Yeah.
I'll give it that. But yeah, it just
If she
needs
doesn't
spelling
have
out.
tit in the middle of that, I'll be disappointed.
And you know what she is? She is on the massive back pedal as well. I don't think she has a huge hand in this game, or Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I don't think she had a huge hand in that as well. She just released the books a long time ago, and people are just now.
Did she write the books for Fantastic Beasts?
I think they were old books. I think she like the dude who wrote Lord of the Rings. How he also wrote
Tolkien.
the Silmarillion, I think it's called, which is just it's not a story, but it's just lore. I think she's done something similar there.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's probably what they've taken it from.
Right.
Obviously, it's like fucking comics that the super nerds will be able to find, but not the regular demographic would be able to see. Although I am very keen for this game. I
Yeah.
think it's going to
I'm
be a
keen for the game.
disappointment.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
not
keen.
optimistic about gaming anymore.
Yeah, keen though. Keen to
So
play it.
if I have
I'm keen for something different
notification,
more
it'll
than it
be
being good.
fantastic.
I'm keen to. I've always said, right. I've never been the biggest Harry
Catch
Potter
a
fan.
fucking snitch.
I've always said that a Harry Potter game would be amazing. I just think
Oh, it's been
it
the old
suits
ones
video games so
were.
much.
I loved them.
Chamber of Secrets on the PS2 was fucking lit.
It was phenomenal because it was just like it had
So, show
so
me
much
there, Benny.
variety.
Never played them.
And like
Never played them.
mini games, story, like it was like Yakuza but less, more diving into the whole nerdy fucking wizards, right? And
The
had
only
a
issue is
very
if it
linear
did have
story.
Quidditch,
But it
I
had
would not finish the story.
what Chamber of Secrets?
No. This new one. If it had
Oh
Quidditch,
no,
I
it's
wouldn't
gonna
finish
have
the story.
two.
It'd be exactly
Dude,
like Final Fantasy X,
there's
where I
no way
didn't
that they're
finish the
gonna.
story. I just played the water ball game.
Did you be crazy to think that they wouldn't release this game without Quidditch?
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to catch that fucking snitch, and I'm keen to see. I thought that was a solo game as well, but I have been told different since then.
Well,
Like
it's co-op.
Han?
Apparently so.
Oh, okay. We're talking about this co-op in the game. Okay.
Hey,
Somebody Google it. Somebody
yo,
Google it. I'm
that's
too
a
far away from my
stream
keyboard.
session right there.
I'm keen. I'm
boys.
keen as
Just
fuck.
imagine, like, I don't know what the limitations will be. I just see like Google just posting single player video game.
Okay, that's probably right then.
But
I
if
just-
there is like, let's
Probably
say there's
both.
at least a 1v1 mode in
Mhm.
Quidditch, that shit would be just lit.
Yeah.
It maybe get repetitive and boring. Hopefully not, but it's yeah, it's gonna be real iffy when this game comes out. Obviously, it's gonna be review bombed, but I think there is a huge amount of people that are just gonna buy it and enjoy it. So it just really depends on the game performance in itself.
Do we want to cover this last topic, Jules? Just quickly, just knock this one out.
Politics, I'm good. I'm feeling.
All right, make sure. I'm gonna fucking cover it real quick. Sorry, Cookie, but
Alright.
New South Wales elections coming up soon. Make sure you vote Labor, and not the premier, New South Wales
Vote
premier.
Greens.
Who's a Nazi? Who's a Nazi? He dressed as a Nazi. That came out. That's so recently. Yeah. The current New South Wales premier dressed as a Nazi. That's all I want to say. Make sure you vote Labor this election, New South Wales, if you're listening. Let's just have it all Labor nation. It's gonna be great.
A lot of politics news coming out. I don't know when the election is, but apparently Labor New South Wales have just put forward a reform to gambling policy.
Yep, huge.
Which is definitely required. I think even the last Melbourne Cup, it was actually no, not just Melbourne Cup, but last year they just people. I think it's all across Australia, but a lot like New South Wales is probably the heaviest gambling state. I think it is.
It is. Yep.
Of just betting ads.
Mm.
People are
There's
just
been a lot pop up in Victoria recently too.
sick of the gambling industry, and they need to reform. So yeah, Dominic Perrottet also is secretly Kanye West because he dressed as Hitler. Well, not sorry, Hitler. He dressed as a Nazi
So he's Kanye's
his-
friend.
for his
Yeah.
21st birthday. It was his birthday, and he decided to dress as a Nazi. Which, look, it was like 20 years ago, and I wasn't. Actually, it would have been like 3 or 4. I don't know whether it's common that dressing as a Nazi is cool, but it's a really weird stance to have. And then he feels okay to be the premier of New South Wales. Like if I did that at 21, I would know that it would have to come out eventually, right? You just in this day and age, no way that you can escape that. So
Oh,
I
so
find it
he's
really
done it
funny.
when he was 21. It's not
Yeah.
like he's just done it recently.
No, not recently. It's just been ousted recently. Apparently, a co-staffer asked him about it, and I don't know how it got out. I've tried really hard to find a photo. I think that'd be really funny, but
Okay,
cannot find that photo
but
just yet.
let me pose a question to you boys, right?
Or devil's advocate.
No. I've seen it a lot in the content creation scene. Like, I'm not a big content creator. I dabble, but I'm definitely not a big one like some of these guys. But a lot of stuff has resurfaced in recent years from like early Twitter, and I mean like early Twitter where there was like no one gave a fuck about any rules. They just said whatever was on their mind. And they're now getting blasted and losing stuff, sponsorships, all that sort of stuff, say about 9, 10, maybe 12 years on after that. And what do you guys think on should they be punished for something they've done at a time where they weren't a public figure and there was no repercussions at that time?
In some way, shape, or form, depending on how bad it was, yes.
If it was something that wouldn't have crossed the line legally.
Oh, well, no.
Even this, man, it's not a big deal. I just find it fucking funny as shit.
I think it's a big deal that at one stage he thought that was a funny idea. I think even a 21-year-old should know that that's not a good idea. Not funny.
I'm not disagreeing on that at all.
I'm more talking to Julian. I'm more talking to Julian than you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
I just don't think a guy who one day was going to be in politics should have dressed like that, or
at
like
21,
anybody.
Would you think you'd be in politics at 21?
Definitely something. Definitely thought about it at 21.
These people to get
Yeah.
where they are,
Yep.
they would have had to start.
Yeah.
They
would have been a young
general question because
He would have been a young liberal for sure. He would have been
a young liberal for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So there is a aspiration there. It's not like he was a farmer that turned politician because he was fed up and wanted to make the change in his community. It's
like
not
the
it's
local
like
politicians around up north.
Yeah, like the politicians. Yeah, politicians make this their whole life most of the time, like from a young age.
A lot of them do.
So I just think that dressing, like if he thought that was a funny thing to do at the time, sure, he's 21, right? Probably shouldn't hold him to that, but at the same time, it definitely, like, as a guy who's running a whole state of Australia, it makes you think, in my opinion.
It's true.
Yeah, the richest state.
Yeah. Anyway, Cookie, did you had some game releases?
I was just wanting to know what you guys in 2023. There's quite a few game releases. We did go through this the other night, but I thought, you know what? It's probably a good topic for.
At least link us up. I can't get in the Discord right now. So, could you just post a link in the docs, Jules?
I
don't have it. Is this a separate list?
No, Cookie. I want Cookie to give you a link so you can give me a link.
Sure.
I just like what's coming out like soon. I just want to talk about what's coming out soon because we've got Monster Hunter coming out very soon. I think at least some of us are keen to play that.
We touched on the Hogwarts.
Comes out 19th of this month.
We got Forspoken. 20th. That's comes out next week.
I don't expect that to have good reviews.
You don't?
No.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I reckon hot take for that because Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth are coming out this year as well. I reckon Forspoken will be the best rated Square Enix release of this year.
That's a hot take.
Personally.
And you mentioned the other day, and I will quote you. You said Square Enix usually makes good games.
Yes.
I think you said that. We've just played Marvel's Avengers.
Okay, I'll re-say that. Okay, let me re-say that. Square Enix generally makes good games when it's the Japanese headquarters of Square Enix and not the North American. So that is the Final Fantasy, all the JRPGs versions of Square Enix, not the American stuff. The American stuff's arse, and Marvel was part of that. What about Dead Space remake? Are you keen for that? That one seems more up Jules's alley. That one?
No, not at all. I'm not.
Look, I smashed 1, 2, and 3, or I gotta say within the last 2 years. 3 was the latest, obviously.
Yep.
I really enjoy it as a horror game because it's not too it's not scary. I don't feel like they are scary. I think like the first one was definitely fear inducing.
Yep.
But it's not the same team, or not entirely the same team. One of the lead developers on the like I don't know if it was all the Dead Spaces, but he went on to make the Callisto Protocol, which came out December last year.
Yeah, very recently.
Apparently a lot of the reviews are mids. The whole creativity of why people loved Dead Space back in the day, it's just not there with this new game.
So what they're updating with this new Dead Space, allegedly, is graphics.
Is it a remaster or a remake?
Remaster.
No,
what's the difference? Remake. What's the line?
I heard that it was a new game.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm thinking about reboots. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, remaster I think is where they just do a graphic overhaul.
Yeah.
Remake is where it's based off the original, but they've added extra stuff to it. So what they're updating with it is graphics, audio, enemy AI, in brackets combat systems, and then outlay, which will now be a fully realized space that allows for seamless exploration. So it's basically like bigger and better, allegedly. Okay. It almost seems like a horror No Man's Sky by the sounds of it.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to be that keen to play it. I'm not going to spend money because I just played it.
Yeah, right? If it comes out on Game Pass, I might try it.
Oh yeah, for sure I might try it. But
it'll be on Game Pass by the end of the year.
Too long ago. Right, so what's the point? Why would I spend money to play a game? Which it's just, sure, it's got new content, but I just can't be bothered to play.
Yeah,
pay money for a game I played just recently.
All right, moving on to the next one.
Horror.
Wild Hearts. Now, if anyone doesn't know, it's EA's version of Monster Hunter, but it's being created by the developer that did the OG Dynasty Warriors. Now, I know that was a fan favorite for a lot of people back in the day. It wasn't the greatest to look at graphically, let's be honest here, but it was fun as fuck. Anybody that played that growing up would probably agree it was fun as fuck.
But it didn't focus on graphics, it definitely focused on gameplay.
Yes. Which I'm hoping is what they do for this as well. Now, I don't know if either of you boys played Dauntless.
I played Dauntless.
No.
Did you like it much, Benny?
No.
It got really repetitive, didn't it?
Oh, the zip lines.
Do you like Monster Hunter, though?
Never played a Monster Hunter game.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, this is basically a Japanese Monster Hunter made by the Dynasty Warriors developers. And I'm actually kind of really, really cool for this, excited for this, because I've seen a few videos and it actually looks graphically amazing. And it does actually look fun with all the different things you can do to like kill these gigantic fucking beasts.
I feel like the bosses are going to be similar to Colossus. Oh, what's the fucking game that just got
released? Clash of the Colossus or something.
Yeah, something like that. Which I really enjoyed. So I'm just looking at gameplay.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes. I think it would be fun, just depending. Oh, that dude just builds a fucking trebuchet out of nowhere.
I think on it currently.
Yeah, I think it might be interesting. Like you said, it is graphically very pretty. With the Japanese stylized.
Yes.
It's right underneath a fucking peach tree at the moment. No, blossom tree.
I think for me it'll be very similar. I think to Dead Space for you, Julesy, where it's like I don't think I'll rush out and buy it. But being an EA game, I'm assuming it will come out on Game Pass at some point, and then I will try it.
Yeah. No,
But
hopefully, like I think that's
it
just
looks good,
early
and I'm
goals,
hoping
these
I'm
games.
hoping there's co-op modes to it where you can jump in with mates,
Oh, it
where
looks
it's
like there is.
not just like Monster Hunter where it's not really co-op. You just kind of do everything by yourself, but more like Dauntless where you can jump in with a group of guys and go fucking monster slaying. Like,
I'm seeing right now 2 people fighting a hog. So
okay, cool.
it, oh,
But yeah,
phase 3 is
that's one of the ones I'm kind of keen for this year. Atomic Heart. Does that sound familiar to either of you boys?
Yeah, the Unreal
Julian.
Engine 5. I think
Yep.
first
Julian's
debut.
keen. Julian's keen for that one, I think.
I thought it
You're
was
keen for that one,
Bioshock,
Julian?
but that's the other one. It's on Game Pass, so honestly, I'm gonna check it out.
We'll play it
I'm
then.
Yeah,
going
no,
to.
that's fair.
I'll play it.
Horizon's got a PlayStation VR coming out, which that sounds
Is that
interesting.
Horizon the car
Call
game?
of the
or-
Mountain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you'll have to physically reach
PSVR.
between ledges in an effort to scale the mountain, while the tactile combat design will see you wielding a bow and arrow against Horizon's famous robotic creatures.
We're
Here's
talking
a real
PSVR 1 or
question for you,
2.
though, Cookie.
Shoot,
Are they gonna reuse the animations of the first and second game? Because
More than
everybody
likely.
knows that you can't do that.
more than likely, because it's a standalone story, but you set to parallel the events of Horizon Zero Dawn with a focus on first-person combat traversal. It sounds like they will, because it's not like a brand new Horizon game. It's a standalone, but it's set to parallel. So it's like,
Mm.
yeah.
I
They'll
mean,
use
I
the
would
same
have to say that's going to be PlayStation VR 2's debut game, or at least one
Yeah,
of them,
I
which
would
is
say that
very
too,
smart
yeah.
for
It is
PlayStation
coming out
2,
on PSVR 2.
which
It
you've seen the prices
launches
of that shit.
alongside it on February 22. Which, honestly, I've played Horizon Zero Dawn. Graphically beautiful. And in VR, I reckon it would be a very, very full-on game to have it like right in your eyes, sort of thing. Alright,
What?
Jules?
Yeah.
I just looked up the play because it was ridiculous when I had to look at the US dollars. But so Harvey
Yeah.
Norman right now in Australia is selling the PlayStation VR 2 plus the Horizon Call of the Mountain
Yep.
for
That's it.
$958.
That's about the same price as a PS5.
And the VR by itself is 879. So
So
not
you're
only, like
paying
if you do not
$70.
have this, right, you have to pay $800 to $900 for the PlayStation. You can get the God of War edition of the PlayStation, or I don't think it's the edition. It's just PlayStation plus God of War for $904 plus the
Yep.
$958 for this one. So we're looking at a total of around $1,900. I could work out the maths, but it couldn't be fucked. I think $1959 to play 2 games on the PlayStation 5.
So almost
and have
$2,000.
VR.
Gosh. Gosh.
That is a huge amount of money, and I just don't think it's enough of a selling point for the VR. And I really liked the first VR. I had it. I fucking loved it.
That was good, was it? I never tried it.
It was like a VR, man. Like it was the most immersive gaming experience I've ever had in my life. I played Resident Evil 7, and I've never been like I don't get terrified with horror games, but
Yep.
doing that in VR was the most fucking just my butthole just tightened to every single fucking door I had to peek through.
I didn't.
I had to take my headset off and actually breathe at one point because of how fear-inducing that experience is.
I never expected when you pulled that shit out, Jules, for it to be so immersive.
Oh, it's incredible, and that was like garbage compared to what they have for VR nowadays. I think the HTC Vive and the Oculus is phenomenal compared to what its original was, and
Like,
this is just PlayStation's second iteration, and you're not gonna have the massive fucking setup. There were like Cookie. I don't know if you know, but it gave you a little hub box. There's a
I
little
don't know
small
much about the
rectangle.
PlayStation VR. I had a little bit of a go on a Vive. A housemate had it when I lived at uni.
It took about like if I didn't have anything set up, it took about half an hour to set it up each time.
Jesus.
There was 6 chords, like inputs that you had to do to this little hub box, and then you had like 3 that had to go in the PlayStation. Obviously,
Yeah.
then you have to have the whole room set up. You have to have this camera as well, and now it's battery packs, so wireless.
Yep.
And it's not so much cameras; it's now sensors. So
Okay.
the original Oculus, I think, the vibe was 3 little triangles that you put. So it just sensed where you were.
Yeah.
So I'd be very keen to see. Obviously, the controllers are the big must as well. They've redesigned the controller, so it's not. I actually don't think it came with a controller.
Oh, so you had to purchase the Move controller separately, Jules?
Oh yeah, that's right. It was a Move controller. You know what those look like, Cookie?
That's a
Little,
little
Dildos.
circular ball things, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, on the phallic remote.
Mm.
So yeah, 2 of them. Now it's more like I don't even know how to describe it, but a circular controller with a little handle that you stick.
It's
your
like
hand in
a
circle.
ring, right? It's like
Yeah,
the stick
ring.
phallic controllers, but it's got rings on the end. Am I right?
Well, like a brass knuckle sort of thing.
No, like halos where you'd hold the controllers, right? Above your
Okay.
hands would be like halos. I would say
Oh.
like little circle halos.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and obviously the whole screen and the lenses that you look into will be much better than what they were.
I
And
never expected it to
Headset
be
system.
more than a gimmick. But when I played it, I
Oh,
see what you mean.
oh, dude, I've always had faith in the system. I just hope they do it right.
Let's hope it doesn't go down the SAO path. We all get trapped in a game, and if we die in the game, we die in real life.
Yeah. He's talking about Sword Art Online, by the way.
I don't know, man. That's just called hardcore to me. Just don't fucking suck, I guess. Hopefully, there's no fucking Dark Souls.
Probably, but if we did get trapped in a game, it'd be something like that too.
Yeah.
Moving on to one of the last games I'm going to talk about anyway. The Day Before. It's an MMORPG.
Sorry.
No. Hear me out. Post-pandemic America, overrun by flesh-hungry, infected, and countless survivors who'll do anything to live through another day. So it's being made on.
Game.
Fallout 76 already exists, Cookie.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
What is this?
It's
Last of
made
Us
on
MMO?
the Unreal Engine 5. So that's the brand new Unreal Engine. So it's going to be. I've seen a couple of videos. Graphically, absolutely phenomenal, but you will need a hell of a computer to run it.
Oh, they have black zombies.
And it is the second most wish-listed game on Steam currently. The only one that beats it is Hogwarts. So that means it's in front of Starfield, which is, for anybody that doesn't know, the new sci-fi RPG from the creators of Elder Scrolls.
Isn't that game coming to Game Pass?
Starfield.
Yeah, so who's buying that game?
I feel like you're saying Star Citizen to me.
No, I'm not saying Star Citizen. I mean Starfield. Not sure if it's coming to Game Pass. If it's
it
Bethesda,
is,
there's a
it
good
is,
chance because
it
Microsoft
is.
owns it.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, Bethesda.
And also even above Hollow Knight, the new Hollow Knight that's coming out, which for anybody that played the first Hollow Knight, it was fun as fuck. Good game.
Each to their own, bro. Each to their own.
Yeah, but it's an MMORPG, so be able to play with everybody else. What I'm feeling like it's going to be similar to is The Division.
You think so?
Hopefully better.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. That's where I was going with that. You see me walking towards that.
Yeah. It looks graphically amazing. You establish a colony with other like-minded players. I'm assuming your colony will basically be your guild or clan for anybody else who's played MMOs. And then you can trade items, recuperate, all that sort of stuff in your colony. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it and how they go with it. I personally probably don't have the computer to run it, but hey, if anybody wants to buy me one, well, I'm welcome to. But it looks like a very, very pretty game, and it should be interesting. We haven't had probably a good zombie game in a long time.
I thought the genre of zombie games died though, a lot like Battle Royales, because there was a huge period, Dying Light, Dead Island,
Of zombies.
Last of Us,
Left 4 Dead,
yeah.
Back 4 Blood, which Back 4 Blood was disappointing. But anyway, yeah, I thought it was one that was, it piqued my interest when I saw that it was the second most wish listed game on Steam. Because there is a lot of games on Steam that are coming that are wish listed which surprised me that it was above.
You tell me. The
last one I'm going to talk about will be Skull and Bones. Did anybody hear the news last week?
You're gonna
fucking
die on
delayed
this
again.
hill. I called it.
so
I
fucking
called
mad.
it. I fucking called it, bro.
it
I
say when?
fucking said that shit.
End of 2023.
When have we heard that one before,
2024.
Cookie? When have we heard that one before, brother?
Yeah. It
Oh,
annoyed me because it was
man.
literally like the day after we were talking about, oh, is it going to get delayed again?
I said yes. That shit is getting
Yeah.
delayed again, bro, and it
Yeah.
did. Oh,
And it did.
that game's
So,
never coming out, bro. That
That
game's never
game
coming
probably
out.
never. I was reading an article about it, and
Hey.
so the game was apparently first started development in 2013.
Yep, after Black Flag. Yeah, dude, we've
Yep.
talked about
was
this
supposed to be
in
an
our
expansion
old
of Black Flag.
version of the podcast.
Yeah, so it's been in development for 10 years.
Mate, we're going to be talking about this game for another 10 years, okay?
Probably.
Cookie's going to be next. Oh, my most anticipated
It's the
game
next
so for 2024
Citizen.
is Skull and Bones.
No. I wasn't bringing that up because it was my most anticipated for 2023. I just wanted to bring it up because it's on this list of games coming out in March 2023. And I'm like, that's a fucking lie. Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe 2033.
that though,
Hey?
because
What was there left to say? We talked about this game already.
yeah, but
Yeah.
not so much the game, but the publishing studio.
We talked
behind
about it. We talked about
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft Singapore and their misconduct of employees.
Yeah.
We
No,
talked
not
about this
just
before.
that, but how they've been pushing a lot recently to be bought up by a major company. They try to be bought between, I think it was Google and Amazon.
Oh, Square
Um,
Enix. Oh,
yeah,
Ubisoft,
so-
sorry.
Yeah, so I don't think the company in itself, as well as it did during the time that it was released as Skull
Yeah,
and Bones,
I
was
don't
delayed,
think Skull and
3
Bones is going to
titles
get
have been
released
scrapped.
unless Ubisoft gets bought.
I
So,
think there's
It
one
doesn't look
game.
good for the company as a whole.
I think there's one
and
game coming to save Ubisoft.
What's that?
Mirage.
X-Defiant, baby. X-Defiant, baby. It's
yeah.
coming. It's coming,
I
bro.
What
don't
if-
fucking know.
It's
though.
Yeah,
coming.
nobody believes you. But what about Assassin's Creed 14?
Nah, Mirage
Wow.
looked good. Mirage looked good, though.
Oh, so
Mirage
there was
looked
actually
good.
one last game I wanted to play, which I know me and Julesy are keen for. Benny, you've expressed a little bit of interest in it. Wo Long.
Oh, yeah. I
Really
was,
long.
whatever.
Really
Yeah,
long.
it's okay.
Fallen
It
Down.
comes out on Game Pass at the 3rd of March.
Oh, I'll play it then.
Yeah.
If it comes, I'll play it.
Yeah.
We've already had this discussion. You won't play it. You fucking
Yeah,
Game
but we
Pass.
didn't have the discussion on podcast.
Oh, so
Uh,
now we
Oh,
have had
brand new
this
discussion, bro. Brand new discussion,
outside
dude.
podcast.
Oh, all right. I want to talk about what was the. You can give me a list, right? Give me a short list, or just give me one game. Didn't have to come out this last year, sorry. But what was the best game you played last year? I'll start with you, Cookie. Actually, I'll start with Julian because I can't play 27 billion games. So, what was the best game you played last year? It could be a game that you've already played before, Julian. What was the best game you played?
Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm kidding.
No, I thought you might say that, to be honest.
No. I really enjoyed the Plague Tale Requiem. I fucked myself. Like, I'll take into consideration that I chose a hard difficulty when I probably shouldn't have, because it was very frustration in the reloading that I had to do. But that phenomenal story, amazing character development. I think GI said it before, but every chapter released a new game mechanic, which kept it fresh. The game was fresh from start to finish. It's stealth, action, puzzle solving as well. So it was just like one of those games that I wouldn't ever expect to be as good as it was. So it was really refreshing. The other game I'd probably put in contender was Yakuza, which I don't think came out last year, but still
Yeah, I was going to say Yakuza 7, so
phenomenal.
it's
I'm still
fantastic
playing.
game. Yeah, you're still playing
I've
it.
sunk 100 hours into it now.
Yeah.
I think maybe. So yeah, those are my two. I
Yeah,
really
I'd
enjoyed
say
those two.
Yakuza 7, man. That game is phenomenal. I think it came out the year before, but I finished it this year. It's a game that you're never bored, never ever bored, and that's my biggest thing with games. I just get bored after a while, so I always can come back and just like go to a side mission or something. There's always something fun to do in that game. The story is incredible, and the side story is even more so. So I say that, or me and you finishing Spec Ops: The Line again. I really, really enjoyed coming back to that game again this year.
I keep thinking about it.
It was a good
I
game,
feel
man.
like I didn't give you the reaction that you wanted me to give you. Obviously, like we had sunk a huge amount of time, and open choice games for me are hard to play because I'm always like, oh, but did I make the right choice?
Mm.
Did I mean to release phosphorus on those group of people? Did I mean to do that?
Yeah, that's
Can I
what it leaves you
not
with.
use
Yeah.
phosphorus against these people? Can I just shoot them?
That's why I wanted to leave you with that, though. I didn't want to jump in on your
That
experience. I
set
wanted to
them
leave
apart.
you with it. I wanted you to just try your hardest to win, and you did. You tried really fucking hard to beat that. You really did, and then you just gave up, and it ended up being the wrong choice. But you always ask too many fucking questions. You always ask too many questions.
Oh yeah, no,
So fucking game like that.
No, he's like really pushing me for like, do I have to do that? Do I have to do
it
that?
pinches me though. Like there's something in my brain that just goes, oh, man, I don't feel good about my choices.
You shouldn't,
And
and you shouldn't.
I really want to know. I just like I could wait to the end to see, but I didn't think that was the big reveal. I had more of an issue of I don't want to use white phosphorus because that's a war crime.
Yeah.
Not so much of look at all these fucking civilians that I just burnt up. That wasn't my whole thing. I didn't have an issue with the civilians. I had an issue with using white phosphorus to begin with.
Yeah.
make me a bad person.
Yeah, because they really set it in that this is a bad thing. Like they really in the game, they really go, "Hey, this white phosphorus shit really bad," and they really they bring it up a couple times before that decision is available to you. Which really sets it. It's like the game can be repetitive, but I think its generic third person actually works in its favor very well. And that's what I really respected about it, that they made such a basic, I mean, like, there was so many third-person shooters at the time of Spec Ops: The Line coming out, that them doing it actually was a benefit to its game because it felt so generic. It felt so like, oh, I'm playing Gears, oh, I'm playing, name another third-person shooter from that era of consoles, right? That when you see all the civilians dead, it makes you actually really think. Makes you stop and go, fuck, did I need to do that? Like, how many players you reckon run up and just said, oh, fuck yeah, win button, you know what I mean? And then had to deal with the consequences without even trying to beat the level.
Yeah, probably a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like,
we're so conditioned. We're so conditioned.
But I've been playing games long enough. I was like, this gotta be.
Like, it's like I always take it back to a COD campaign where you like run to a point and it's like, yo, use a fucking, I got an aeroplane in there, use a Predator missile, you know? And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I get to use a Predator, right? It feels like one of those moments where you're supposed to go, fuck yeah, I get to use white phosphorus, and your decision made that happen, so.
You do see all the big pile of white thermal people, and you go, "Oh, look, it's an encampment of
of enemy soldiers." Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's civilians.
Yeah, they were saving the civilians. Yeah. And the reaction of your teammates,
bad guy.
The reaction of your teammates too really gets it through to you. Yeah. Because it's like it's a real snapping point of that game. The real turning point of the game. I think
that's why the game. I think those two characters that you are fighting alongside with, because the main character doesn't have much character. He's pretty generic, but the other two that go with you and Lucas, all the dialogue, they really add impact and weight to every decision.
Like I love that part in the game. It's closer to the end where a Juggernaut comes out and it's actually him yelling at you about the shit that you've done. And then, because if you die, that Juggernaut comes out again and it doesn't do it. It's just a Juggernaut. Because you died in that section.
Dude, I thought that was revolutionary. It
like,
was like, oh, we're just going to give you this thing. And it's going to be like, oh, look, you sort of have this PTSD of your friend dying and you see him. But then you die because you have it on hard fucking difficulty. And then you redo it again and it doesn't happen. I go, wow, that is so intelligent.
Yeah.
That's not the game speaking to the characters in the game.
Yeah.
That is the game speaking to you.
Yeah. No, and if it did repeat itself, right? over and over and over again, it would take away from that moment. But because it
would
happened
take
that
away,
one
but it just
time,
happened once.
but it makes
Yeah.
you think like, fuck, did that even happen? It's like it adds to the character's psyche as well as you thinking about it, you know. And it's a game that makes you think for years. It makes me think to this day, you know. So yeah, I'd say revisiting Spec Ops: The Line is one of the better things that I got to do this year, game wise.
I still don't want to play it again.
Mate, feel free.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my God,
throw 3 out there.
Yeah, Cookie, I'm
gonna
glad
do
you got some
best
time.
single player, best multiplayer, and then best
Call of Duty
improvement.
Warzone.
Fucking never mind.
Warzone 2, baby.
I'll start with
It was
single player.
too.
Pokemon Violet.
Controversial?
I don't have an opinion.
Controversial?
I have thoroughly enjoyed. Personally, I haven't played any of the recent Pokemon. The last Pokemon I probably played was Pearl. So this has been a big gap for me in between Pearl and this. And a few of the features they have brought in, I'll be honest, aren't great. Like, I sick of the Terra shit, I will be honest.
Terror
But
shit?
the actual general gameplay where you're at a school rather than just kind of going on an adventure, you go through school.
Okay.
Which I quite like that they've gone for something different.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
You
they've
like
thought
Peter
outside the
Pan?
box to a degree, and they're like, how can we jazz it up a little bit? And the school's really, really cool. The other thing that I've quite enjoyed is the old Pokemons. I played a lot growing up, and then I just, as an adult, kind of drifted my way away from it.
Yeah, some of us did, I guess. Some of us did, I guess.
Yeah, well, I got back into it thanks to my daughter, so thank her for that one.
That's awesome.
But a big thing that you did in the old style Pokemons, was you had a bike. But they were like, in this one, they're like, let's make that bike into a Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not new.
Isn't it?
Oh, well,
Okay, well-
if you look at Arceus, you can ride around on Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, but they've done it like, it looks like an actual bike.
Oh, really? Oh, is it the bike
It-
Pokemon? There's a bike Pokemon.
Yeah, Cyclizar. But the legendary one you get is a little bit different. And then, well, I haven't fully finished the story in it, but then there's also a part where they've added this part to the Pokemon where they've made the Pokemon completely different in a certain way, but I don't want to spoil it too much because it is a very end game sort of thing.
Cool.
And you kind of, I've beaten the 8 gyms and done all the other subquests. I've just got to beat the Elite Four and then such and such, and then I'm into this end game part. So I don't want to
Did the
spoil it too much.
Pokemon use white phosphorus and kill a bunch of civilians?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Not yet. Maybe in a couple of years' time. But I think for me, a lot of that comes down to nostalgia as well, because you did have a lot of like you had Eevee and you had all the Eevee evolutions, and then you had a couple of the other Gen 1 Pokemons that were in it, and even some from like Gen 2, 3, 4. Like, I was able to get Lucario, so I was fucking pumped about that.
You always say that weird. You always say it's
but-
Lucario, man. Yeah,
Huh?
Go on. You're right. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, but like it still was a fun game, and as I say, it's been a few years since I've played a Pokemon, but in saying that, I've played a lot of Pokemon in the past, and it felt good to be able to jump back in on the Switch and play this Pokemon. And it looked really, really nice for a Pokemon game. Obviously, I know Arceus has that little bit different visual style than what a lot of the Pokemons do, because it went more like Breath of the Wild sort of style, didn't it?
Yeah,
No.
nah.
More
no.
like, what was that fucking game making software? Real crappy one.
Roblox.
Nah.
It's got it's got a Breath of the Wild feel about the world, but it's definitely
the
can't say
graphics
it's on the same.
definitely
Yeah,
not
and-
intense.
It's not a traditional Pokemon style
No.
though, is it?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
more it's open world RPG.
Yeah. Were you thinking Dragon Quest, Jules?
No, I was thinking of like, you know how Unreal Engine, there's another one
Yeah.
that people used to make shit.
Yep. Okay.
All I can think of my brain right now is Charizard. Use war crimes. Just white phosphorus rains down, bro.
Jesus.
But yeah, I quite enjoyed Pokemon. I played it at the airport and I played it on the plane when I flew back to Melbourne. And and it
Cookie, you're gonna ask
definitely
you a serious question, no?
what.
You're saying that red isn't ash?
You're a cunt, eh? You're a cunt.
Wouldn't know what you're referring to.
You're a cunt, Julian.
But multiplayer for me, I would have to probably say Lost Ark.
Okay.
MMO, very
Fuck
Diablo-like.
out of here.
No, well, yeah, what's gonna rival it? Fucking COD?
Overwatch 2, man.
Oh yeah, that was.
You know what? You know
Mate,
what?
that was
I will-
released back in 2018.
Can I set the discussion like, you know what might actually be a good competitor, and we'll check it out this week. I want to check it out.
Yep.
Team Fortress 2.
Okay, no, shut up. But yeah, Lost Ark, I have gotten to the point where I've probably overplayed it. I played it that much, and in that quick of a instance where I'm now probably I've done the story about 12 times on 12 different characters. But I thoroughly enjoyed kind of a bit of it was Diablo, but massively multiplayer, like MMO, but then Japanese infusion of it on top. So Japanese/Korean infusion of it on top. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was graphically amazing. There was tits everywhere. There was blood everywhere. And it felt like an old school Dynasty Warriors, but like massively multiplayer. Like you just went hack and slash.
I'll take your word for it, man.
It was fun as fuck. You had all these different classes. All the like abilities in that looked sick. Once you hit max level, there was a fuck ton of shit to do. And it just felt good. There's been a bit of a issue with it recently where they've been banning people due to a January bot ban wave. And a lot of false bans have come from that. But they're releasing new classes still. They're releasing new content. It felt like a really fun MMO, and I poured over 200 hours into it in about a month. And it was really, really fun for me. Multiplayer-wise, the only other one that I'd say would compare it is Halo. But that was released in 2021, so I'm not counting that one.
Oh, well, I said
As a
anything you played this year. Yeah, we had a good time in Halo. Yeah, I think, bro.
I wouldn't say so.
As I said, name something else that competes with it. Besides maybe Splitgate.
Yeah, Splitgate's always good, though.
But like you said, Lost Ark didn't come out this year, did it?
Yeah, February.
Oh,
There you
there
go. There you go, yeah. Oh, yeah, one more.
And best improvement, I'm going to put towards 2042. I'm thoroughly impressed what they've done on how to turn it around. When that game was released, it was absolute fucking dog shit. I ain't going to lie. I still put hours into it, but that's because I was a Battlefield diehard, and it was arse. It was painful to play. Only reason I got through it was because I was playing with mates.
Yeah.
But of recently, it feels really, really good. They've ditched just the 64v64. You can now go back to the OG style 32v32. They've modified the maps for the 32v32, so they made them a bit more smaller.
That's big.
Instead of doing the same, when it first brought out the 32v32, still the same size as 64v64, and it just felt off. They've brought in some of the really classic maps from like Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2.
In portal mode? Wait, in portal mode, or are we talking about regular multiplayer?
In normal multiplayer now.
Okay.
They've brought them in. You can play them in the modes.
Okay.
Only in the 32v32, I think. I don't think it worked with the 60v64 because obviously the maps at the time weren't made for that.
Yep.
But they brought in a lot of the old maps. They brought in some of the guns from back then as well, like some of the OG classic ones that everybody likes from back then. And it just feels like a very solid game right now, which is it's at the starting line where it should have been when it was released. Not gonna lie, but from where it's been to where it is now, and I'd say probably arguably in the space of about 6 to 9 months, it hasn't been long where they've really kind of upped the ante on it. It feels genuinely really, really good, solid shooter right now.
Awesome. Shout out to Battlefield then. I just want to bring up one more game actually. I just noticed it here. Slay the Spire. That game was a big surprise to me this year. It's a roguelike card deck builder. You like travel. There's like a ladder you travel up. Can't think of any other games apart from Descenders that have it, but it's like you have to survive from the start of the ladder right to the end of it, and over time you build a deck, and you can change the deck and customize it and shit. Yeah, it's I don't know. I wasn't expecting it because every time you play it, it's like a roguelike. So every time the ladder's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get it's a card system. You can upgrade, change cards. Like the shops on the ladder as you go up the ladder. There's the shops you can sell, swap cards and stuff. It was really in depth for this little game I just downloaded randomly off Game Pass. Just proving why Game Pass is actually the best thing about gaming right now. The fact that I can take that risk. Age of Empires was fun. I mean, I can go on Xbox right now and go look through all the games that we've played this year, and most of them would have been from Game Pass, just because it gives you that I'm not going to lose any money on this factor, which is awesome.
Except for what you're already paying.
What do you mean?
For Game Pass.
I don't lose any money on Game Pass because I play games on Game Pass.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like obviously it costs money to play, like to have it every year, right? Every month. But at the same time, if I'm playing 2 or 3 games off of it, then whatever, Anyway, I think we can wrap it up, eh? I was going to talk about CDL Cookie, but it's already 10. So
Yeah, we've been
definitely want to hit the sack.
2 hours.
Mate, if you
probably might have a better time with more people who are actually interested.
Yeah, in CDL for sure.
You
But
might have crossed it far and have time.
Shout out to Hook. He did well on Optic Texas. LA Thieves need to pick it up, but I know they will. World champions, by the way.
Need to pick it up. Fred needs some help.
Fred needs help bad. And
LAG on the rise.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They looked good the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll figure out. You know what? We will finish this podcast out with a little 10-minute segment where I do my pick'ems for the week.
I'm out.
Fuck 'em. Fuck it. All right, Jules, you have a good one, brother.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Let me just check that that's up on the stream, all right? Mate, I can't wait to have you. I'm glad that we've started this again, and I'm glad
he's gone.
We've done it right this time. Right, it's for the stream more than anything else, bro.
I'll have to get a camera.
Yeah, no, and I think we're doing it right this time, bro. Honestly, I really think we do. I think we are.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So I got Florida versus New York. That's a 3-0. York.
Yep, I did the same.
We got Optic Texas versus Seattle Surge. Whew. Now this is a game. The game right here.
The question is, will Surge bounce back, or will
Optic
keep the momentum?
I think Optic are going to keep him in the hard points, but they'll beat him in the searches guaranteed. So I'm going to take Optic 3-1.
I did Optic 3-1 as well. I reckon Surge will win the control.
So we got LA versus Toronto. I love my boys. I love them. World champions, by the way. I'm gonna do a 3. Oh, I think they come back with a fire next week. We'll go 3-2. Toronto is just looking too damn good right now, bro.
I went Ultra 3-1.
Okay. We got Vegas versus Boston. Now Vegas is a really strong search team. Boston kind of been relying on their search, so I'm gonna go Vegas 3-2.
Ooh, I did Vegas 3-1. I reckon Legion will pinch a hard point.
I reckon they'll pinch a search
I
and
reckon
maybe
they'll
a
pinch
control.
both and they'll lose the control.
Oh wait, I think they'll win the hard point and a control. That's what I'm thinking, or 2 hard points. We got London versus LA. All right, fuck you. Fucking put my boys up again. I'm gonna go 3-0.
Ooh, to Ravens.
Yeah. Their searches. I would, if this was Major 1, LA Thieves, I'd say 3-1. But their search is looking really good. Honestly, it's looked very improved. Their search and destroy. A lot of people are talking shit on LA right now, LAT. But I think their search is really, really improved.
Are you on 3-0 to Thieves or Ravens?
To Thieves. I don't know if you. You can't say the stream. 3-0 to Thieves.
I've got it up. I
yeah.
went 3-2 to Thieves.
Oof.
I think Ravens. I think Asim will dominate in the control.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
And I think he has a takeover game in one of the hard points.
I just haven't been doing enough 3-0s, honestly, man. So I'm gonna give that a 3-0 this week.
That's fair.
Now this is gonna be a
this
huge
next
game
match
right now.
is
Yeah, this is gonna be huge.
Series of the weekend, I think.
Honestly, I might actually. Have we got the flame points? How do you do the double?
Up top. Oh, you can't do it on double points already.
So I can't do it on this match.
No, you see the flames on the other ones, but they're not double points.
Okay. So I can do. Oh, I can do it on any not double point match. Because I would instantly just go that on double. So, well, maybe I'll find something else here that I'm. Super
If you're that
about.
confident in Thieves, I'd double points on Thieves Ravens.
Yeah, actually, you know what? My boys are gonna come through. My boys are gonna come through.
Yeah, you've got 2 of them. So just down to the. So you see where Thieves Ravens are down the bottom.
Yeah.
So do you see where the time is?
Oh no, I got it sorted. Yeah, it's sorted. The stream's just a bit behind, but yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I got that sorted. So we got Optic versus Toronto. Optic is looking good. I'm gonna lie, that match was impressive last week, but Toronto is looking amazing. So I'm gonna go 3-2. Oh, 3-4-3-1. I got a 3-2. I got a 3-2. I think I gotta get 3-2. Toronto.
Optic.
Toronto. Yeah, Toronto.
I went 3-2 as well, but to Optic.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see on the day. That's for sure.
Because they clutched up big in the third one.
I think their team's looking too nice. That Toronto team is looking too nice at the moment, bro.
Yeah, they clutched up in the game 5 against Breach, like really, really convincingly.
I'm gonna go 3-0 to FaZe against Rocker.
I went 3-0 Rocker over FaZe.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm
3-0
FaZe over Rocker.
Fucking faith in that one. Holy shit. Damn. All right.
I gotta get my points back. I fucked around too much last week.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Vegas against Ravens. I think Vegas are gonna win the search.
I did the exact same.
Yeah, I think definitely they're gonna win the searches. There's got to be one in between that. I'm sure the Ravens can win a hard point or a control.
Yeah, Legion's control is dog shit.
Yeah, so definitely think that they could steal a map off that. Rocker, LAG. Look, let's go the upset pick. I'm going to go 3-0 LAG.
Ooh, I'm 3-1 LAG.
I think they're going to come out with the fire. They look really good against LAT. Everyone was shitting on LAT, but I just think that makes LAG look really good. And the last map of this is a double point map.
Another a banger as well.
Look, let's say I'm gonna say, definitely gonna get a map 5. Now, who is the strongest search team between these two? I'd have to say FaZe.
I think it goes on the map.
I'm gonna say FaZe 3-2, but when it gets to land, maybe New York beats them again. I just don't think we can ever rule FaZe out.
I think for me it depends on which map is game 5. If it's Fortress, Subliners win.
Alright, I think this is looking like a good week here, man. I think we can save these predictions actually.
We're pretty similar on a lot of these, Uwe.
Well, that's probably not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I think you did worse.
The only one we differed on the winner is Optic Toronto.
Alright, this is the current point standing between all of us. These guys all started later than us and they're all ahead of us. So
No, it's not true. I started at the same time as them, thank you very much.
We have to pick it up though, Cookie.
Yeah. As I said, I was giving them a freebie. If you look at my picks from last week, they were interesting.
Alrighty, we got oh, you did alright the first day though.
The first day, yeah.
The second day you started off well.
No, first day I didn't predict.
Yeah, well, not in the leaderboard, but you did well, honestly. That was a good pick with the LAG Florida. I wouldn't have picked that. I don't think I did.
I had faith in the Florida S&D.
We got Rocker London. That was a good pick. I think you gave London a bit too much credit, but they were looking a lot better Major 1, so I'll give you that.
I was giving London too much credit. I picked 3-1. They went 3-2. I didn't give them enough. And then
I meant maybe I meant the other way around. Yeah, FaZe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought FaZe was gonna win too, so I'm not blaming you for that.
No, I picked Surge. FaZe
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting
close.
fucked up by these numbers. Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I picked Surge
I picked
as well.
scores in a lot of them. Like I picked 3-1 Thieves Subliners. I picked 3-1 Toronto, Florida. I just was around the wrong way.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this is a big upset. Honestly, I thought Thieves were going to win this. Not a big upset. I can't say big, but it was definitely an upset. This was a huge upset though. I had 3-0 Thieves Gorillas as well, but XC came out with that fucking fire. Let's see how I did last week.
How good was it seeing some passion on the webcams afterwards? I know the Thieves boys went down, but the fact that like the young blood that's coming into the league has fire in them. They're not like these passive. Like, don't get me wrong, the Tiny Terrors are phenomenal, and they've tried the shit talk. It just doesn't suit them. But you look at the young guys coming through. Like, you look at Scrap, you look at Exceed, Joe Deceives a little bit. They've got that young arrogance, which is what you want as a young god, sort of.
Yeah. No, I know what you
Like,
mean. It crushed me, but I know
Quotation
what
marks
you mean.
around God, but like, you want that arrogance as someone that's coming in as a rookie, wants to do well, wants to shit on people. Like, you look at like Pred when they beat FaZe last year, the flex, like the iconic flex that he did, sort of thing. Like, you want that energy on the stage, and I know we only get stages at majors, but to see it on the online games as well, that makes you a little bit more pumped for the online games. You're like, oh shit, there might be some like, not so much stories, but like some bad blood, make it interesting. Like, you might see some body shot, you might see some teabagging.
It's a
like,
bit more fun, yeah.
Yeah, like, has that feeling of like old school MLG sort of style. Like, when they're just yelling at each other over top of the monitors.
I definitely gives you that vibe. They definitely come with the fire, but that shit was crushing, bro. Exceed yelling at his mic hurt me so bad, bro. Oh fuck. Anyway, Cookie, I think we're gonna end it there, man.
Yeah,
mate. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for anyone who stopped by and watched, man. We're fucking back. I'm keen to do this weekly, if not fortnightly. Hopefully we can reduce the size of this a little bit, though. I definitely want to try and keep them under 2 hours.
it was the first one. It's got to be a big one.
Mate, it has to. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll catch you on the next one. Alrighty.
Let's go.